Hello and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Chris Mann.
I'm Chris Hughes.
Today we're going to be talking about 1974's The Manhandlers.
Oh, give it the flip.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
This bookie got no real poetry.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
You could have been decent once in a while. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
Come on, just step on the gas before we get creepy.
So this is an interesting one. We got a day bin going here. We never record the show in the day, so we'll see how this goes, huh?
Yep.
1974's The Manhandlers. This is a Mike pick, so I'll just warn you ahead of time. This is me. This is all on me, so we'll see how everybody felt about this movie.
Oh, there were feelings.
I just picked this one because I was randomly watching it out of the hundreds of movies I have, and I'm like, yeah, this seems like a good one. Mm-hmm. And I watched it 2 times in a week, and I don't really know how I feel about it anymore, but I don't think it's meant to be seen twice in the matter of 3 days. So.
I don't think it's meant to be, like, picked apart like this.
well, it's going to make for a fun episode, because trust me, there's plenty to talk about here. So, guys, before we get into the background... Oh, and by the way, I won't say let's listen to the trailer, because I have not found any.
No.
So if I do find one, it will go right here.
First we use threats, and then we use violence.
We got a great tradition.
I've got the family boss pressing me on one side and the attorney general squeezing me on the other.
Carlo, you're losing control. I hear you lost one of your joints, too.
In the mob, there's 4 things you gotta know. How to add.
It's 21,002 for the month.
You got a nice way with figures, Frank.
Subtract. Multiply. And divide. You wanted to pay off, Leo. This is it.
I'm stiff all over.
Not yet, you aren't. I can arrange for a little special handling.
Exactly what's the difference between your insurance policy and the old protection racket?
Ours cost a little more. When the mob muscles in on the massage parlors, the girls rub them down, then rub them out.
My God. Breast.
The massage parlor racket laid bare. Dangerous dolls take on the whole gang. Machine gun mamas, blasting the underworld with a hot shower of lead. The Vice Squad busts in. The girls bust out.
We're going for a ride. Get him in the car.
The Manhandlers. Wait till they get their hands on you.
Okay, guys, so the tagline for this movie, which, by the way, this movie has a great poster, which you'll see in the artwork for the show. The tagline, when the mob muscles in on the massage parlor, the girls rub them down, then rub them out. And if you think we have a story about a rub out on this episode, you'd be right. So let's get into the crew here. Director Lee Madden. Now, I don't have credits written down. However, I do have a biography written by one Woody Anders.
Oh, my God.
Now, Woody Anders, if you've listened to this show, hasn't made an appearance in a long time. He is a great IMDb contributor who writes hundreds of bios for exploitation movies. Woody, what do we have to say here about director Lee Madden? Writer, director, producer Lee Madden was born in 1926 in Brooklyn, New York City. Madden's debut film was the enjoyable biker crime caper heist yarn.
You want to try that one again?
That's exactly how he wrote it. Hell's Angels 69. This movie featured various members of the real Oakland Hells Angels, led by then-President Sonny Barger, and was the sole motion picture the motorcycle club directly participated in. Lee's other films include the equally entertaining biker outing Angel Unchained, the creepy horror opus The Night God Screamed, and the fun drive-in exploitation romp The Manhandlers. Moreover, Madden also directed episodes of the TV series The Most Deadly Game, Beer Cats. It has an explanation point at the end.
You're absolutely...
You know Beer Cats?
My mom used to watch.
What the hell is that show about? I didn't
No
click on
freaking clue.
I can only surmise.
So I let my mom know about this movie, and she grabs the IMDb and starts going through everything. She's like, I watched all these shows.
Nice.
Because
He's like, oh, I've seen this movie, Chris. I love it.
This
it's a real
movie
sweet
is
one.
full of TV stars more than it is movie stars. There is a couple movie stars, but
Yeah, we'll get into it here. Cades County and the new Perry Mason.
that's after he put on the weight.
So did he come back at some point? And he's like, no, it's not me. It's not Perry Mason anymore. It's the new me.
Is he wearing like a paisley shirt?
Yeah. He sold the Chooch Mobile, and he said, it's the new me, guys.
In all seriousness, I think the new one is just because it came out in color instead of black and white.
So he comes out on the first frame. He goes, hey, you can see all of me now.
Hey, I'm gay now.
And you thought these suits would be interesting? No, they're just still beige suits. And the black and white wasn't any different than the color.
And the juries are still all white. So wait, wasn't Perry Mason also Ironsides? Like, he has a weird career.
Oh my God, do you think that's a spinoff? At some point he broke his legs and they're like, put him in a wheelchair now.
Raymond Burr was Perry Mason, related to Aaron Burr, who famously shot somebody. Yeah, he was Ironside. So when he got too fat, they had to put him in a wheelchair so he could walk around.
Do you think? I'm sorry. Who is it? Something Burr.
Raymond Burr.
Do you think at some point Raymond Burr's like, no, I'm not doing any more TV where I got to stand. You have some sort of chair with wheels you can put me in. I'll still be a detective and everything.
No, what they did was they set him on the chair, but they put attached these legs that made him look like he was standing in front of the chair. So it's a forced perspective. So he just kind of looked like he was hovering around while standing, like a ghost.
And he was like, that works fine, whatever, as long as I don't need to stand. Can I still solve crimes?
Yeah.
Now, what would Ironside do if he ever got to a staircase?
Yeah, there was no ACA back then.
Okay, so you're talking
Or
about...
ADA,
I'm sorry,
man.
was he like a detective for the police?
Let's see.
So was there like
I have it
points
open.
when Ironside would like get to a building and he's like, shit. Like he's chasing after a criminal, like da and go down the street, and then he runs into like a big apartment building, and he runs up the fire escape. And he's like, "Well,
keep on rolling."
He's for the birds.
Can't win them all.
Maybe he had like a CB radio on his wheelchair,
Yeah.
so he could call in backup wherever he was. I don't know.
I would assume he had like a lasso-like device on his chair, and he could just pull himself over railings.
Yeah, like what about getting in the car? Because if he's going to go like in a big car chase, it would probably take. He's got to like get in the car and then put the wheelchair in the back, and by the time he's all ready to go, the guy's long gone.
He has a van. He rolls into the back of the van and just rolls right into the steering column.
Do you think he had like a partner, and maybe the guy would like maybe they'd attach him to the back, and he's like, "Come on, Ironsides," and he just kind of puts a little rope around him, and
He just tows the wheelchair around. And
yeah. Well, I've never seen the show, so what do I know? I just don't think it's a good profession if you have no legs. That's all I'm saying.
I have no idea how we got onto this.
Well, you mentioned Ironside.
You could be a pirate, for one thing. You could work on a ship, a boat.
Yeah,
perhaps.
there you go.
I mean,
Yeah. Lieutenant Dan made a
Lieutenant
great
Dan.
first mate.
Yeah.
So, maybe solving crimes isn't the best. But you know what? He was very successful. And they did a spin-off show, and then everybody was all upset because oh my God, they casted a black guy as Ironsides. How dare they? Like anybody gave a shit. It was like when they're all, oh, how dare they think about casting a black guy as James Bond? It's like, really? You think that it's supposed to be the same James Bond? Like,
You don't think they only have 7 numbers they use?
Like the Bond family line has been tarnished
yeah,
somehow.
it's like, oh, how dare they?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Do you know how many children James Bond probably has running around?
Yeah, I'm sure Idris Elba could be one of them, you know?
Agreed.
So, okay, we go to the last part of his bio. We're still in the bio. We couldn't even get past Ironsides. But the director's son, David, now this is the reason I wrote down the bio, is the executive vice president of programming at Fox Television Studios. So he is a heavy hitter.
Was he there for Firefly? If so, we have some issues.
I'm sure he was. Unfortunately, the director, Madden, died at the age of 82 of complications from pneumonia in 2009 in Camarillo, California. Gil Lasky, who's the writer for this movie, only one writer. And I think that speaks to the quality, to be honest. He has only 8 credits. Now, I did write some of these descriptions down because they are insane. 1969, The Gay Deceivers. Now, what do you...
Wait for a laughter. Pause for laughter.
What do you think that this is going to be about?
Might as well just call it The Traps.
Danny and Elliot avoid military service by pretending to be gay, but they have to act the part when the recruiting officer doesn't buy it. So, like, what does the recruiting officer go like, no, I'm not buying it. You got to fuck him. Like, I mean, what do you mean act the part?
I've seen that movie. It was with Pauly Shore and
No,
Andy Dick.
I saw the remake.
No, he's like, no.
Which was that Adam Sandler movie,
Yeah.
I guess.
You can see that, like, no, all the way, Ed.
No. Finish. This is the army, boys.
We're not done till the job's done.
They're like, you know how many people come in here pretending to be gay?
Yeah.
Get on your knees. We'll find out who's gay, huh?
First to arrive, last to come.
Oh! Just a little bit of the day bed.
Lip Ben.
We're making Hughes very uncomfortable over here.
Not at all. I just have nothing to contribute.
1971, The Night God Screamed. A woman is persecuted by Jesus freaks after they've crucified her preacher husband. Wow. That one sounds like an interesting one. 1971, Blood and Lace. 1974, Mama's Dirty Girls. Mama loves men, but she loves money even more. She's trained her 3 teenage daughters to meet, marry, and murder men for their money. But when they meet Harold, he has other plans. Dun, dun, dun.
So that's one of the things I appreciate about this podcast is we hear about these movies from whatever 50s, probably
1974.
50s. Oh, that's another 1974? Yeah. Whatever, we hear these movies. Now, when I watched The Heartbreakers, I thought it was a very unique and original idea, and now I find out that there was a movie in the 70s that basically is the exact same fucking movie.
If you think there's an original idea today, it's made in the 70s. They just,
Bullshit.
Nobody remembered
Avatar
it.
was not made in the 70s.
So we get into the cast, guys. Kara Burgess, who plays Katie. Brief acting career, only 5 credits. The only other things she did were small roles in TV shows and 1 TV movie, and this was her only movie and last credit. So she went out on top, guys. Judith Brown, who plays Liz. Now, she has a much more checkered career in the exploitation genre. She has 27 credits. Here's one for you. 1970, Threesome. Now, this has a long description, but it's also insane. A fashion designer returns to Denmark with his American wife, Ursula. She is leery of the excesses of female nudity and the relaxed moral standards of the country. A visit to a psychiatrist reveals feelings of latent lesbianism, but the doctor is not sure and recommends she be hospitalized. She befriends a recovering drug addict before he breaks into the medicine cabinet and kills himself with a drug overdose.
Oh, wow.
She flees the facility into the willing arms of a beautiful fashion model, resulting in erotic tryst between the 2 women. Ursula later is forced to watch heterosexual pornography in an attempt to change her lesbian leanings.
So they show her porn of women having sex. Might as well just showed her gay sex.
Heterosexual.
Yeah, having sex with a man, but
they're like, no,
don't look at the woman.
This is how it goes.
Yeah.
Wiener in. You are for making babies, not for just having fun and doing licks. This is not a Tootsie Pop. So then we have 1969 and 1970. There was a real big gay scare going on, obviously. Like, it was making its way into movies like, hey, have you heard of this new thing? There's gays.
Yeah, the gay-pocalypse, they were calling it.
I guess nobody ever heard of the Romans, you know?
Caligula,
the
Romans,
you know? The Greeks. Can you believe this? Men going with men, women go with women. Oh, my God.
The love that shall not be named.
1971, she was in The Big Dollhouse, directed by Grindbin all-star Jack Hill. We will definitely be doing that movie at one time. 1971, Women in Cages. So she went from one prison to another. 1971, Slaughter's Big Ripoff, a real famous one. 1975, A Woman for All Men. The description wasn't as good as you'd hope. 1976, Hot Potato. And her last movie credit was 1983, a movie called Independence Day. And no, it was not about aliens. Where is she now? Well, she lives in Zihuatanejo, Mexico, and she runs a bed and breakfast as of 2011. I've booked our trip. We will be going.
Bincation.
Yeah, you get a rub down is included.
Oh, good.
Rosalind Miles, who plays Mo, 14 credits, mostly exploitation movies. 1972, Shaft's Big Score. 1973, The Black Six. 1974, Girls for Rent, which I'm sure you can figure out what they're renting out. 1975, Friday Foster was the last movie she did. Okay, so Frank was played by Vince Cannon. Now, he has TV in a few movies, only 14 credits. 1973, Blade. 1976, Trackdown. 1978, Youngblood. 1985, Fast Forward. And 1998, his last credit was Havasu Heat, which was a direct-to-video porno. He passed away that year at the age of 60, so I don't think he was involved in the lovemaking. But maybe, who knows? Henry Brandon, who plays Carlo. Now, this is a very, very prolific character actor. 175 IMDb credits, tons of TV, pretty much every TV show from the 1950s and 70s, he's been in it in some aspect. But he was also in some great movies. 1953, War of the Worlds.
Yep.
He was in 1956's The Searchers.
With John Wayne.
Yeah, and 1976, Assault on Precinct 13.
Oh.
So,
Cool.
Good stuff. So, guys, you have anything else to add before we get into this movie?
We did have a bartender from the original Westworld, Wade Crosby.
Oh, really?
Oh, cool.
And,
have you ever seen the original Westworld?
No, it's one of my dad's favorite movies.
Oh, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That bartender scene is great. Because there's a scene in the original Westworld when the two squares that have come to Westworld are drinking at the bar and trying to be cowboys, you know? And Yul Brynner comes in, and he's the robot in the movie, right? And he goes up to the bartender, and he looks at him, and he goes, "Hey, why don't you get this boy a milk?" He's going to go cry for his mama. It's a great scene. It makes the whole movie. So let's get into the movie, guys. I couldn't find any trivia or anything. This movie
it's
pretty much doesn't exist.
It's skint.
I found that image I sent you that it came out at the same time as the B-Girls, and it was done as like a double feature.
Really?
That'd be an interesting double feature.
B-bitches in this. Huh.
B-bitches in this, yeah. Yeah, well, at least B-bitches is not a misleading title. The Manhandlers, however...
Oh, God.
Now, this has to be one of the most misleading titles.
And so is the poster. Like, look at that poster.
I think one of them's holding a gun in the poster. Yet I don't think that a woman ever touches a gun. Well,
so to speak.
Yeah, a skin gun maybe, but nothing that cold steel, you know.
No, and even the synopsis is misleading on the poster too. Like, no, they're not trying to muscle in on the mob. They're fucking victims.
Yeah, pretty much.
And the cops don't care. This movie,
they're victims, and they also have very short memories, which we'll get into. Like extremely short memories. Like, wait, did that happen? Do I know you 5 minutes ago? So here we go.
Well, to be fair, they all had the same haircuts back then.
Yeah, all the guys had like some just like shag haircut. They all look like a member of the Beatles or something. So they're like
Ringo left and right. You know,
you white men look the same.
Yeah. Sorry, officer, they all look the same.
So we start the construction yard, right? So there's an old guy. Okay, so an old guy just comes into this construction yard and he's like, "Hey, Carlo?" And I'm like, okay, here's a little hint, guys. If you're ever supposed to meet somebody in like an empty construction yard, don't. It seems like, there could be a better place. Could you see him be like, "Carlo, you sure you want to meet at that place they're building? Like, we could go meet at that amusement park or something?"
Yeah, you don't need hard hats when you go over there, it's well lit.
Why you want to meet where nobody is, huh? Where nobody can hear screams.
Do you think this was all stolen?
Maybe. Oh my God, could you imagine?
Maybe that's why it's there.
Hey, across the street, they're building something over there. Let's go over film that scene, eh?
They're out to lunch. They'll be back in 15.
Boss, we're going to have gunshots and stuff. Nobody gives a shit. We could kill a guy over there. Nobody give a shit. Mob rules in this town, baby.
So, story about construction and murdering.
All right, please do. Please do.
My dad is in construction, and he had
I don't like where this is going.
It's dark.
Union delegate.
So he was building a building. They were pouring the concrete and all that kind of stuff. It turned out that one of the guys that he hired at that time had a fight with his girlfriend and ended up killing her. He murdered her and dragged her on the weekend to the construction site. When they were pouring the concrete, he found a spot for her and poured concrete over her. 9 years later,
God.
9 years later, he gets popped for something else, or the cops, and he gets arrested by the cops, and he confesses about this murder. They have to go back to that construction site and pull her out. And I'm like, wait, Dad, you hired this person?
Chris, you never seen a guy pour better concrete. It's a real shame he can't work on the sites anymore. You know how hard it is to find a good poor man.
Oh God.
So like I said, don't go to an abandoned construction yard. Oh. Get it? So Carlo shows up and he pulls out a gun on him, right? And this is where, okay, did you notice this, by the way? So the old man's name is Leo, right?
Yep.
And Carlo is the gangster who showed up. But there's a part where we cut to Leo and he calls Carlo Leo. Like, he got so confused, he called him the wrong name.
I believe I heard that somewhere. And it got
he goes,
confusing.
Leo, I swear, I got the money.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, sir, it's the other way around. I rewound it about 9 times to make sure I heard it correctly. I will put it in this episode. But yeah, he definitely did.
Look, Leo, my partner's got the evidence.
But nobody in editing, on set, anything, everybody's like, did he say the right? Yeah, fuck it. Keep rolling. Let's get to them rub downs, eh?
Yeah.
Did you like the banter that Leo and Carlo were having? And like Carlo was like, Leo is a pimp pussy. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I'll tell you this, though. Carlo, because he's that character actor, he's great.
Oh,
he is the highlight of this movie.
Carried this movie.
Oh, God. He was having so much fun with this. He's like, I haven't had this much fun since I worked with John Wayne and we killed all those Indians, eh?
I forget one of the actors in this movie. Okay, all the actors in this movie, all the main ones are all white guys for the most part.
Yeah.
If you look at the IMDb of one of them, I forget, he ended up playing like every Native American character in all these other TV shows and movies.
Oh, boy.
Johnny Depp wasn't available?
Hey, that man is like 18th Cherokee.
Yeah, right?
So you're telling me he had the brown face makeup, he had the shoe polish in the car ready to go at all times? They're like, hey, you've got... He's like, look, I got all different shades. What tribe, you know? He's like, I got the Cheyenne over here. I got
Apache over there. Arapaho.
Oh, I'm all out of Arapaho today. Sorry. So yeah, Carlo basically, he shows up with a gun. They get this big chase, right? They have a gunfight around this yard. And Carlo keeps saying something about how Leo has a partner.
Yeah, and Leo is blackmailing Carlo for something. And Leo's like, I'm just the bagman. I just come to pick up the money. I have nothing to do with any of that. Just pay me. I drop off the money and you're done.
I have to say that this movie is too complex for its own good. It is really trying to lay like a real Godfather type scenario on you. And it's like, we only got 80 minutes. So we're just going to shove in all this, like, somebody has a partner and a bagman and everything. Hey, just say it. This guy runs a rub and tug.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that. And he goes, you aren't paying the protection money. That's all we need.
Did you also like the fact that they started this fight? So they get slapped and they're running. And we saw when the car pulled up and where he walked to start talking to Carlo, it was only about 5 feet.
Yeah.
But they end up running like 6 football fields away from everything.
Yeah. The chase goes on for a long time. Like a long time. And I wrote that they must be waiting for people to put their dicks back in. Like, just put them back in the zipper.
Or they're getting started.
Yeah, maybe they're getting started. They're like, all right, rev them up, boys. Don't worry, somebody's going to turn over real soon.
Look at that popcorn butter really between their fingers.
He's like, you don't even know. The boys are going to be waiting. They're going to be waiting. That first 5 minutes, they're going to be like, when are the girls coming in? When am I going to see some rub downs?
So they have like 2 60-year-old men running around each other in this construction site.
Yeah.
And Leo makes it to a wall and starts crawling along this wall. And just as he reaches the end of the wall, Carlo reaches where Leo was at the start. And they start going. And then Leo, being the old man that he is, sees a wall that he can maybe jump over. He doesn't make it.
He's not like, at all.
Oh, shit.
He's like, I guess I'll just keep running.
The crew's just like, no, keep going. Roll. We're here legally anyways. Just go. So then, okay, this is great, though. Like, Carlo shoots Leo, and he falls onto these pallet boards. And he comes over, he calls him a schmuck. And then I do like that he shoots him again in the back for good measure, like, just to make sure.
Yeah.
And then credits roll over that dead body. Great music, by the way. This movie has some great original music.
Great 70s funk track.
Oh, it's great. And we're playing it right now. So the credits continue to roll over hands massaging a body, and you think we're ready for the rub down.
Rev it up.
Nope, let's start with a funeral. Yeah. So, and this is real sad too. Only one person showed up to the funeral. By the way, not even the lawyer. Just Katie.
Well,
shows
he
up
wasn't
to the
on
funeral.
the clock at that point. So.
So just Katie shows up to the funeral, not Leo's mysterious partner, but maybe he doesn't want to get shot, right? But Carlo makes an appearance, so he kind of looks on from far away, and he's like, hey, who's this girl, huh? And then we go to this lawyer's office, and Katie, okay, this is some great lines in here. Now, Katie's here because she's inheriting stuff from her dead uncle, right?
Yeah.
And she says, well, I barely knew this Uncle Leo. He was the black sheep of the family, and she hadn't seen him since she was 10, and he would apparently always send her a Christmas gift. She says the only gift she remembers is some shitty silk pillow with a picture of Marilyn Monroe on it, and it said Hollywood. And she laughs, and then she says he must have done his Christmas shopping at the Greyhound bus terminal, and I go, yeah. That or the one asshole walking down Hollywood Boulevard is like, what a 10-year-old girl's like. Oh, a pillow. It's like, you know what? Don't even bother. So then we learn she's inheriting his car, some briefcase where he wants to keep this stuff for 5 years. Like, did you get that? He's like,
yeah, that's weird.
He goes, hold on to that for 5 years. And there's a bunch of 8-track tapes in it. And she's like, oh, I didn't know he liked to record music. He's like, no, he likes to record his friends. I'm like, oh, okay, we're not going to expand upon that. That's an odd. Yeah. Like, are we talking about those porno 8-tracks in this thing, or what's going on here? Are we talking about recordings from the rub? Like, was his secondary business just recording the whorehouse sounds?
It's just
sounds of the whorehouse found at a truck station near you. Turn over. It's like flip to side 2, please. Then the lawyer tries to warn her about the business. This part's great. He's like, so she's like, well, how about that business? I'm real excited to be a business owner. And he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, about that.
Did you say business or business?
She's like, how dare you? You don't think a woman can run a business? He's just like, no. Well, you know what? You'll find out.
We'll find out. What kind of business is it? You'll find out.
Yeah, here. Why don't you take the keys? You'll see.
Her quote is one of the beginning parts of the women's lib theme of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you mean the...
Just because I'm a mere woman doesn't mean I can't run a profitable enterprise. Yeah, good luck with this enterprise.
This is one of those movies that thinks it's doing a bunch of women's lib, but it is like literally the worst thing it could do for women.
It's like putting it 7 years back.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there is a part where she goes, fuck women's lib, I'm horny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, if you don't think Mr. Crown wrote that line... He's like, yeah, these fucking broads, they think they can run a business. I'm trying to run a whorehouse, bitch. We'll see how well you do. So we go, speaking of whorehouses.
Have you been to Madame Wong's? Come on.
We cut to Madame Wong's. And a lady is massaging this old dude, and she tells him to turn over, and he's like, all smiles, like, hello. And he's like, what else do I get for my $20? And she says, for $20, you're getting it all. Inflation, you know. And I wrote, well, what? It doesn't even make sense.
I think they were talking about his penis inflating.
Yeah.
And then once he's inflated, then they upsell him on making it go down again.
Yeah, they are great salesmen at this whorehouse. Because, he goes, how about a little steam? I'm stiff all over. And she goes, not yet, you aren't. And then he goes, huh? Apparently he doesn't know what it is. I'm like, what did you think this was when she told you to turn over, guy?
He was there for a legit massage, which... He's the only person in this movie that was there for a legit massage.
And by the way, if you walked into this massage parlor thinking you're getting a legit massage, okay. This is the scariest looking building I've ever seen. Like, this looks like that time. You remember when we went to South Central for that?
On 88th in Vermont?
Yeah, when we went to play that show. Did you ever go to Poison Apple?
I know of it, though.
Oh, my Lord. This looks... Poison Apple looked better than the front of this.
Oh, my God.
Like, this is seriously the worst storefront I've ever seen. By the way, it is on Normandy.
Is it on Normandy? I thought it was on Vermont.
No, it's on Normandy. No, this store.
Oh, yeah, the Rub and Tug in the movie.
The Rub and Tug's on Normandy. I wonder what block of Normandy.
I'm sure it's still there.
It might have been on the downturn, you know. Oh, I do have a location of this movie, by the way, which you'll be interested to know. There's a little bit of history, a little bit of Southern California history in this movie.
Beautiful.
So, yeah, he says, I'm stiff all over. She says, no, not yet. He goes, huh?
And, like, there's this whole, like, diatribe where it's like a prostitute that's picking up a John, and she's like, you gotta tell me if you're a cop. Da, da, da. So she's when you're actually stiff, we can go ahead and offer a different massage package to give you that special handling. And I'm like, is this movie this is going to be the whole movie of just this weird talk about jerking a guy off, but never actually doing it?
Yeah.
Special handling, full treatment, big score. I've heard about places like this.
Yeah, I love that. He goes, oh my God, I've heard about places like this in my dreams.
Rub maps.
And
Wait, did you say rub maps? Like a map of the stars, but it's just rub and tugs?
It's
you
a
have
real
no
thing,
idea.
believe it or
It's
not.
a real thing,
It's
yeah.
a real thing. Chris Mann knows somebody who told him about it.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great app idea.
Grindbin does not endorse anything to do with that. Do not do it. Do not do that. Do not.
Oh, yeah. I got a story, but, it's...
So, yeah, he says he's heard about places like this. She's like, well, how about we have a party? And he's like, a party? And she goes, she upsells him on the 2-for-1. She's...
Did you hear how she upsold it?
What, how?
She goes, especially you get 2 for slightly higher than the price of 1. Like, what's slightly? Double?
yeah, right?
Slightly, yeah. So $40 plus 40.
And then the lady and Candy immediately take off their shirts.
Yeah.
We get the first boobs in the movie, 9 minutes and 30 seconds in.
Oh, I'm glad you timed that. Yeah.
I think that's been the theme of when I come on is if it's going to have nudity, I want to see where it appears.
Yeah,
You
you
think we
want to
should
see when the people have their penises out.
Yeah.
You think we should have like a pool when boobs appear in these movies?
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll all guess beforehand. When's the first boob?
Well, who made this movie? Who made that?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Who's in it?
Mr. Crown made it for sure.
Yeah.
This was just something I heard about these type of places. I've never been there. No. I've heard about them. Have you heard about these places where they go? She told me. I mean, they tell you to turn over. Could you imagine? Maybe he just runs back to the office one day after one of his lunch massages, and he goes, "Oh my God, where's that scriptwriter kid?" Can you believe this? There's massage parlors out there. I don't know anything about them that apparently will jack you off. Have you ever heard of this? It's brilliant. It's a whorehouse, but under disguise.
So what you like?
She said that to me. Can you write a script? Put some mob shit in it, you know? Okay. By the way, though, don't worry. That 2-for-1, you do get like a Kohl's cash afterwards.
Oh, okay.
For every $80 you spend, I'm sure you get $10 back.
Oh, like a stamp card or something?
Yeah. There's you think this one has a stamp card?
What do you think the stamp card is? Penis?
You know what? I think that this business might have invented the stamp card. They're like, there's only one way to get guys coming back, you know. Yeah. Get it? Coming back. So then Katie pulls up to the parlor, right? And I write, I can't see how this guy didn't know this was a business, how this was a rub and tug.
No.
Because the front of this building is just,
abandoned. It does not look
like
there's no windows in this place.
You would think that the entrance is maybe around back or something, because the front of it just looks like a boarded up wall.
There's not even a neon sign.
At this point, I thought there was no signage.
Yeah.
However, we will find
there
out
was
in a
a sign.
second. There was
a sign, all
because
right.
when she walks in, we zoom in.
Yeah.
Because you can't even see. It's like, well, we can't afford to put. By the way, we shouldn't put that on a real building because
You might get an actual line of people.
Look, there are a lot of things we do that we want to avoid the police on this shoot, if you know what I mean.
I'm telling you that this sign was a legitimate rub and tug already in existence, and they just filmed in front of it because that sign was sun damaged. That sign has been out there.
The sign says, by the way, the name of the store. Again, this guy didn't know it was a rub and tug,
Yeah.
and the sign says on basically a little, like a piece of printer paper,
Not even 11 by 17.
hand drawn, that says "Loving Touch" on it, and I'm like, you thought this was a legitimate business?
Great
dude?
name.
Like, and how?
Great name.
How do cops drive past this place and go like, well, I think that's real?
Yeah, I mean, they're open past 10, you know? They're like the late clientele, you know?
You see him, he's like, no, there is no way we're putting up "Loving Touch" on a big sign. We're not doing that. We don't. Do you think during filming it, guys were walking in going like, hey, where's the massage? And Mr. Crown's like, well, I mean, if they're going to walk in, we might as well kind of, we can fund a little bit of the movie. Do you girls mind getting dirty?
The extras pay you to be in the movie?
Hey, kid, come over here. Put on some gloves. Go in a dark room. Take care of the man.
Mr. Crown, I've never done this before.
You want to get paid, don't you? Okay, so there's zero signage, the shittiest storefront you've ever seen. Just like a white, nondescript building.
Yeah.
Right, it's almost as if there's no business inside at all. I wrote, how do you even find this rub and tug? Like, it must be a word of mouth type thing.
They do say word of mouth.
Because there's no way that anybody would drive by and know it's a real business, or maybe even walk by and realize it's a business.
Well, we find out later that there is a bus boy.
Like Rudy.
Rudy from the hotel that sends over the travelers, the weary travelers.
Well, you know, Rudy, he tried to do me. he was quite the bus boy, I'll tell you. So never mind. We zoom in, tiniest hand drawn sign, loving touch, right? Katie goes in, and the hooker comes out of the back, and she's like, all right, what do you want?
Fucking, she does not want to see a woman there. No. Like, I'm not touching you. That's disgusting. Bring on the next fat slob that I can fucking rub down.
Fat slob with a cowboy hat, please. So Katie's like, oh, hey, my uncle was Leo. And the lady still doesn't care. She's like, yeah, that's fucking great. He's dead.
Dead. Fuck you.
And she's like, well, I'm the new boss now. And she's like, boss? Like, this hooker was just going to run this place until, like, somebody told her it couldn't be run anymore, you know? And Katie starts like, you know, this place is a real shithole.
Well, it does look like a drug den.
Yeah. And then she, well,
it's like a flop house. It's like a squat.
It's not that bad.
No.
I mean, the chairs are fine. It's got pictures on the wall.
Would you sit down in that on any of those chairs?
Hughes, I would not walk into that building.
No, I've slept in squats that are better than this fucking room. All right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Katie walks into that 2-for-1 special, and she's on top of the old slob, and she flips out, and she's like, "All right, everybody, get out of here! I didn't know this was a whorehouse. Not by the sign, not by the building, anything like that." I always thought my uncle was weird, but I had no idea. And then he used to send her letters going like, Katie, you should come down here, work for me one day. So the hooker doesn't care. She just leaves, right?
It was just so weird. Like if okay, we'll stop giving you rubber tugs and we'll do actual massages, she'd still have a job. But then...
No, she's like, no. Once a hooker, always a hooker.
Yeah.
She's like, these hands can only go cylindrically.
See how much money I'm making tips? Tips from the tip.
She's like, they're like, no, all you got to do is just flatten the hand and wait, this is too much. No, thank you. Goodbye.
Like you're grabbing a mop.
Like Katie's basically offering a way out of prostitution, and she's like, no, I kind of like it. So then we go to the office, right? And on office. Okay, this scene is amazing. So we get introduced to Liz and this nerdy guy, Mr. Faberman, okay? Which this is the only scene we'll see him in.
I'm okay with that.
Man, why don't you tell us a little bit about Mr. Faberman?
Let's see.
Chubby Bill Nye.
Yeah, he's got a nice He's timid to go for the goods, but finds his way to go for the goods without actually making it seem like it was on purpose. Like he will walk by and pretend to quote graze somebody, but the graze is more like a full-on double hand grab.
I imagine this is what it's like to work in the Crown offices.
Yeah.
I imagine Mr. Crown chasing around women all day, but he's not. He's obviously not shy.
Yeah.
But I think every day she should get hazard pay for this job because she's in the line of duty every day.
Well, she seems to just deal with it because she's just kind of nicely tells him, "Oh no, and like does it for him. Like, you know, if it's gonna happen, I'm gonna let it happen on my terms.
Because he's asking her out. He's like, "Hey, how about tonight? Huh? What are you doing? She's like, "No, I'm hanging out with my boyfriend tonight. How about tomorrow?
He's painting me.
How about the day after? How about the day after? How about the day after?" And he's like chasing her around the place and like doing the little dodge, like, oh. There's your hand. Oh, there's my dick. Oh. Yeah, and eventually, she just takes his hand
and just plants them right on them boobies, you know, the boobage, if you will, and says, "See here, that wasn't so hard, was it? All you got to do is ask."
Why, Mr. Faberman, I do believe you're trying to cop a feel.
No, it was an accident.
Oh, now don't be embarrassed. Just ask me politely, Miss Kelly. Can I cop a feel? There. Doesn't that feel good? Why not try this one? It's bigger. Now, we don't have to be sneaky anymore, do we? Anytime you have the urge to grab my breasts, you know just where to find them. Creep.
And I was like, huh? At first, I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah, I was like, is this really the world we're trying to make in this movie? Is like cartoony Looney Tunes-esque.
Obviously it's like, well, if a broad doesn't want to be hit on, then she should just put the hands on the boobs and then it's all done. It's that easy. If they were all like that, there wouldn't be all these problems with lawyers and jobs.
If that were the case, O'Reilly would still have a job.
Oh my God.
He's a great friend of mine. He's a great friend.
Of the three main women in this movie, Liz has the worst relationship and the worst sense of what a man and woman should be together is.
I just thought of something, by the way. The director's son is the vice president of television programming for Fox. Do you think this is what the Fox office and the Fox News office was like between Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly? It's like, it's like a Benny Hill thing of like different doors down the hallway, and you see these Fox News anchors, these ladies are running in their high heels from doors, and Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly are just running around. Checking doors. Eventually they get in a dark room with each other. The lights turned on. They're like, oh, we're making out together.
Like a Scooby-Doo chase scene.
Yeah, I definitely think that was what the Fox offices were like.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, call up Cosby.
So the minibar is open.
So, okay, basically, yeah, she does the old, you can touch my boobs if you ask, but then walks away and goes, what a creep.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh?
Oh, God.
This next scene, so after that scene, we have, she was assaulted by this guy, and she kind of, like, got away from it. The next scene, she's like, yeah, so I just got this nice promotion.
Well, I guess it worked. Yeah, okay, no, this is terrible. They go to later, and she's got her own office now with a closed door. Thank God. Hopefully it has a lock on it. But it is full of windows. You think at one point he's going to come in and be like, no, we should take down these shades, right? He's got it like a two-way mirror.
Treats it like SeaWorld.
Yeah. It's just this four-cornered glass office in the middle of an office. And so, Katie is visiting Liz at her office. She says, I just got a new promotion. And then she does her entire job description, which is the stupidest job I've ever heard. She goes, I take one note card from this side of the desk, and then I put it on this side.
Well, they didn't have a computer to take that note card and then data entry.
What do they do at this office?
It's really important work. I love it.
It's not really explained, huh?
But then Katie goes, hey, Liz.
Does it really need to be explained?
I would love to. I want this backstory.
Katie goes, hey, Liz, you're the only person I know in L.A. Do you want a job? And she goes, I'll take it.
Fuck this place.
No questions asked. Then they go to the massage parlor, and Katie's there with Liz, right? And she's like, don't worry, we're going to fix the place up and just give, quote, rub downs. And I was like, that still sounds sexual to me. Is that the term for a massage?
I don't know why they say rub downs and not just we'll give massages.
Yeah, they're like, no, we give rub downs here, sir.
Because
rub downs. We're legitimate business. Rub downs.
It puts certain thoughts in your head as you're watching the movie.
Yes, it
like,
does.
Hey, they're talking about rub downs. You're here. My back hurts. And this movie's not terribly great. Can you just give me a little back massage while we watch?
Some guy in the back of the car goes, can I turn over yet? Or... So Liz says she would give enemas not to go back to her last job. So I'm like, well, maybe she will start using her hands. We'll see. And then, so they walk in, and Liz says one of the rooms looks like early orgasm for the decor.
Great.
Then they keep saying the inside needs a lot of work. I wrote it didn't look that bad, but you guys disagree. And then they say, okay, here's the other thing. Is they're like, well, we need one more girl. And Liz is like, well, we should get a real dumb girl.
Yeah.
This is how she describes it. She goes, we need somebody really dumb.
I don't know why. They just want a really dumb girl. Like, she'll just do all the nasty work and won't ask questions.
She goes, we just need a real dumb one in case some guy decides to turn over.
Well, they found her.
And she goes, I know just the girl. Go to a movie set.
Yes.
Now, a PA is standing in front of a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And he's got the clapper board there. And the title of the movie they're filming,
Madonna vaginal spray take 39.
And I rate 39 takes.
I enjoyed the continuity of this whole scene because they kept the consistent number of the takes.
They did.
Yeah.
They did.
Okay, so then we see it's a full film set, and this director calls action, and we watch a man and a woman run across a field towards each other in slow motion.
This is how they got that, the 80-minute mark. Is just this scene alone was
slow it down,
slow, yeah.
Oh my God,
it takes forever.
If you look at the scene, it makes no sense because you have this woman that's in this blue dress at the top of a grassy hill in high heels. And a man at the bottom, and they're instead of having like a slow motion camera, they're making them run in slow motion, and it just looks really ridiculous.
And we keep cutting back to people in regular motion, and
it puts to mind for people that know this is how film was made. Like you just walk in slow motion, it just looks like that. It would have been funnier if they panned back and they showed them actually walking in slow motion.
That would have been great.
That would have been a good gag, but no.
But then, so then she falls. She just trips, right? And the director rubs his head like, oh, boy. And I write, 39 takes of this? Can't run down a hill? Take the shoes off at some point. Like, just fuck.
At that point, that's when you get casting involved. Find someone on the streets.
Well, that's what he says. She
After
walks
39.
Up to him, she's like, oh, I'm real sorry. And he's like, he goes, look, I don't care if you do this naked. You're fucking going to do it. I'm finding somebody else. And then it's at 40 takes, right?
How about you put them on level ground and let her run? That's all I was saying.
So then they slate it again. He calls action. And then Kate and Liz like basically just walk onto the set. They just walk in front of the director and everything. Like? They're like, nobody's stopping anybody. Yeah. And then this time she knees the guy in the nuts, right, while she's running. And I said, well, they said they needed a dumb girl. So, and then the director's about to fucking lose it, right? But then we cut now to an office building, which is this national bank, right? And there's ominous music. And we find out this is Carlo's office, okay? And our new character here, Frank, is here to visit Carlo. And so apparently Frank's father is in jail, and he'll be out soon. And he's doing a good job running the business while Papa is away. And I guess the business is being a pimp.
Well, it's an enterprise.
Yeah.
It's definitely an enterprise.
Enterprise level pimp. You know, this is a Harvard degree for this chef, all right?
Bookmaking and prostitutes.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. Basically, they make all their money from supplying hookers and equipment to massage parlors, and then they take 50% of the profits.
Equipment to massage parlars.
Well, that's what he said at
and
one
supplies.
point.
All I need is
I get you a good...
Put your hands together, done.
I get you a good deal on a mattress. Well, you need some more jerkins? I got it.
Her mouth's running dry. What's going on?
Just fucking truckloads of jerkins pulls up to these places.
Jergens vendor. Like I said, of an Avon lady, it's like a Jergens lady.
Like one of those gardening trucks full of jerkins.
That's like just a vat.
They buy it in a big vat style, yeah.
Just roll it like Costco.
Yeah, it's rolled in like kegs of jerkin. You think maybe it has like a keg and there's like a big pump that gets it out of there?
So instead of like putting it on a hot dog, you put it on a wiener.
Yeah.
Mustard is off the hot dog.
Carlo tells Frank to go get Katie's massage parlor to be in the business with them because he's like, hey, Leo's massage parlor, we need to go get that one back because that's an important one to us. And he's like, all right. So Carlo goes and visits the hooker from the beginning of the movie. So Carlo goes and visits that hooker that ran out, right?
Yeah.
And this is a great scene. As she answers the door, and he just immediately backhands her in the face, like a good, like, how do you do? You know?
Yeah.
And he wants names. And she tells him the name of the lawyer. And for some reason she mentions, like, he likes to watch.
But yeah, he never participates, so...
Yeah. He would just stand in the back corner and be like, yeah, flip him over. Yeah.
Maybe we're not supposed... Like, this is supposed to give us no sympathy for the lawyer?
I don't know.
Or demonize him in some way?
It's somehow they have to do
because, fetishes are weird.
Yeah, right.
If there's anything we learned from the 70s.
So Carlo's about to leave, and she just has to say something about, Carlo's about to leave. Like, he's like, all right, thank you. And then right when he walks out, she goes, you killed Leo. And he's like, you know what? I was going to let it go, but now you done fucked up. And he goes, hey, Harry, come on in here, huh? And this, like, goon guy walks in, and he goes, Harry, how about you give the broad a hug, huh? Then he walks out, and then I don't really know what's going on. Like, did she think that this was like a hook job? Or?
Yeah, she thought she was gonna have to fuck this guy
because she's like kind of excited about it. Like, again, this is her chosen profession is to be a hooker.
Well, I think she really liked being a hooker.
Yeah, because she was like, oh boy, a customer.
Yeah,
and she like starts taking off her clothes, and she's all smiling, and she's like, Yeah, because Carlos says, give the broad a nice hug. And then we leave them alone. Yeah, takes off her pants. He starts rubbing her panties all over his face, which is odd.
Freaking odd.
Yeah, he's like, take off your pants. Take off your pants. And then he takes them and just starts rubbing it all over his chin. And then he puts it in his jeans. And then he gives her that old hug.
And she really liked it to start with.
She's like, oh, yeah. Oh, that's
this is so
tight.
passionate.
It's a little tight. And so apparently he gives... Harry is known around town as the hugger, okay? He's a real hugger, but he just never learned that you can't hug too tight. He's like the Lenny from Mice and Men.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He just gives the girl a little bit too much of a hug, you know? And so after she's dead, I do like this. So she's dead on the ground, right? And Harry looks at the ground, and he goes, you look good, and then kisses the air. And I think we know what happened next.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we cut, but I'm pretty sure that body was still warm, and he got his money's worth.
What'd you guys think of like his smiling and laughing as this scene's going on? It was really disturbing.
Yeah, he's a disturbing character, this guy. I do like later when he becomes like a professional wrestler and starts his finishing move was the hug. Harry the Hugger. So we go to a parlor, right? The girls have painted the place like the inside of a lava lamp, is what I write, because the walls look insane. And then Katie says something about how she only has $10 left, and I'm like, $10 to run a business?
Yeah, that's like
that
3
decor.
months rent.
I mean, they painted this place to look like old Siemens swirls.
Yeah, it's like
Kinda.
they spent all the time on those Siemens swirls, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And she's like, well, we're down to $10.
Yeah.
One of the girls only has like $1.30 left.
But then she shows them now that they're a legitimate business by opening her desk drawer and pulling out a framed thing of all these business licenses and going like, look at this, county, state, city, we're all good.
So they have all these business licenses. None of them are certified to be a massage.
No one knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
they have a fucking like book on it that they have to read.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to get into that in a second. Because first of all, Frank arrives, right?
The strut music is playing.
Okay, so they cut. Yeah, they cut. Like, we're done at this point. Then we cut to later, and Frank arrives. Nobody's there, and he sits in the madam's desk by himself. And then Katie walks in. She's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I want to talk to the boss, honey. Go get him, eh? And he's like, then shocked that a woman runs a business. He's like, what? 1974? A woman? And he wants to know why his hookers have been kicked out. And she's basically like, well, we're not a whorehouse, we're a massage parlor. We know we're located in a certain part of town in a certain place, but we're going to run this business legit. We might only be open for a couple more days, but this is how we're going to do it.
We're going to go out with our heads held high.
And he's like, oh, well, are you trained to be a massage?
You know, I can supply real girls, like actual non-prostitutes, and he can help with the taxes and loopholes so she can keep... He just started spouting all this criminal activity he was going to do for her.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'll get you hookers, I'll get you massage tables, I'll get you jergens, I got a good deal on jergens. Trust me, honey. And boy, when those taxes come, you're going to be happy you knew me, right? And I write, and she basically tells him off, right? He says something about if I didn't have any manners, he would paddle her ass.
Yeah, he would beat her if he didn't have any manners because of the way that she treated him.
Yeah.
What?
Let's remember this, okay?
Yeah.
Let's remember this. So basically, you're right, Hughes. He's walked in. He said he's all about mob activity and that he can get her business running real well. You know, I'll get some good hookers in here and all that stuff, and I'll help you with your taxes. But if you double cross me, I'll paddle your fucking ass. Let's remember this, okay? So he leaves, right? And then a detective walks on the screen taking notes. And oh my God, do we get the most useless fucking characters in this scene.
Fuck this detective.
Okay, I have some theories. Like, I have some questions about him. So this gumshoe detective, all right, this young guy who's putting on, in my opinion, his best Jimmy Stewart impression.
Ooh.
Because he's really putting on his Mr. Smith Goes to Washington style. He's like, oh, yeah. He's kind of like trying to do the same inflections and everything. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, guy? And so apparently he's been tailing this guy for a long time, but he doesn't have any evidence. And I write, well, you should have just walked into the store because he said everything. Like, maybe if you just follow him into the business, you'd hear everything you want to hear.
Which they bring up later in the movie, and this guy fucking ignores it again.
But he's determined to get him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's it. So we'll know that there's like this young detective chasing Frank the whole movie. So we go back to Carlo, and he's at the lawyer's office with a gun to his head. And the lawyer, I guess the lawyer was apparently Leo's partner. Is he supposed to be the partner?
That's what I'm gathering from
right?
this. Yeah.
And he's laughing. He's like, hey, you ain't gonna shoot me, you dumb motherfucker. And then he's like, oh yeah? And then Carlo shoots him.
Right.
Well, he does. He dares him to shoot him. He's like, hey, come on, shoot me right in the chest, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And then one in the back for good measure. Just
I was like, well, he was asking for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't egg on a man with a gun.
no, and especially Carlo. Like, I
Yeah.
think it's a bad choice.
Yeah.
So we go back to the parlor, right? And now they're open for business. And this is what I write. I go, do these girls even know how to give a massage?
So this is what I wrote. Anyone else at this point in the movie waiting for the gag of the guy that shows up he was an old customer, and he just gets in there, he gets a massage, then he turns over and the sheet's like good 3.5 inches off the body. And then we get like a one-liner from the girl, like something like, I know what's up, and that doesn't go down here anymore. Because I was waiting for that scene. It eventually does.
Yeah, it was going to happen.
Mr. Crown would have loved your notes. But instead, none of them really know how to give massages.
No.
But a man with a cowboy hat walks in. Yes. Their first customer, Tex, and
JR.
Liz takes him to the back, right? Mm-hmm. And I write, okay, this is when they're like, oh, Liz, make sure you remember everything from the manual. It said use a lot of oil and da-da-da.
Start from the top.
I'm like,
work your way down.
I'm sorry. They don't know. Their only thing for massage is like reading a fucking brochure that came with the Jergens bottle. Like, what the fuck? So then we go to the massage, right? And Tex is all laid out on the table, and he thinks it's the old joint.
Yeah.
And he keeps going on about how Rudy sent him there for some action.
And the wife's at home.
He's like, yeah, she's all the way back in Texas. Yeah. Am I right? He's a real horn dog, right? Yeah. And she's like, I don't know, what are you talking about? And she asks him for his towel. Well, she's playing along, right? She's like, oh, I get it. All right, well.
He keeps on sitting up, too, and, like, trying to get up from the table. I don't know.
Oh, he's trying to, like, bring her in for a kiss, I think. They just kind of, like, all right, get on top.
By the way, he started the massage face up.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, you don't, again, well, I don't know if that covered that in the manual or not, but typically a massage, I imagine, I've never even had a massage. I imagine you're laying on your stomach,
You're
right?
always there. You start out on your stomach, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they do flip you over, but it's like for like your pectorals.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, your pectorals. Huh?
Yeah. He was very thorough, all right?
Hands like an angel.
He used a lot of oil.
A lot of oil.
Did he start from the top down?
He sure did.
And then back up. And then down.
Nice form.
Great form.
Strong hands.
A lot of dexterity, stamina, all of the above.
She asks him for his towel, and then she starts whipping him and tells him to get out of there. Everybody's like shocked that he would think it's a whorehouse. Well, no fucking shit. The place used to be a whorehouse, and have you seen the front of your store? I hope you didn't keep the name Loving Touch, by the way.
No, they changed to something else. We find out later.
So we go to this art studio, right? And
yeah.
like this artist is painting Liz, and this, oh god, this is so bad.
We don't need this.
we really don't. Yeah. But she tries to make him jealous. She's like, I'm massaging naked men's bodies now. And he's like, yeah, that's great.
That's fine.
Stand still, you bitch, and just keeps painting her.
Well, he does at one point. He screams at her. He goes, shut up and pose. I'm like, what's this a real classy guy?
Yeah.
Got a great relationship going here. Then we go to Carlo's office, and he's grilling Frank. And, okay, I love this part. The quote is, what do you mean the cell didn't work? We've been using it for years.
The cell.
It's like, I go, so there's no plan B? Like they focus tested this one way to say, did you say it like I wrote on that card, Frank? It's the only way it's ever worked.
Yeah.
Just one time, you just go in there, you give the presentation. We've never had a no. Never. Every massage parlor in LA County agrees.
They've all been charmed.
And then Higgs,
he's bitching about the mob boss bugging him about this parlor. This one massage parlor mob is bugging him. And then he mentions like the attorney general squeezing him. And I don't really understand why. And Frank is given a college course in marketing dynamics on trying to get these girls into the thing.
Carlo finishes up that first one. He goes, no, Frank, first threats, then violence. He's like, did you break a chair? Should I send Hank or Harry?
Whatever the fuck that
he'll break a chair for you. I mean, did you rough a lady up? Did you punch her? Did you choke her? Did you paddle her ass? I mean, come on, something? Nothing? And then he's like, no. These young people, you don't get it. we need modern scientific salesmanship for these girls. They're millennials.
Fucking psychology to loosen her up.
And Carlo's like, all right, Frank, we'll do it your way for 1 week, Harvard boy, or else that's it, basically.
But this is also a point where we get, like, Frank isn't a violent person because, like, I'm going to use psychology to loosen her up and then we'll move in for the kill.
Yeah.
And then he looks in the camera and goes, it's just a figure of speech. I'm not actually going to kill her.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I write, why does he not just work a real job?
He has a college education because he's taking the place of his father. Who knows?
But it's like, dude, I don't think the mob's a good choice. He's like, no, I deplore violence.
No, flexible hours, make your own schedule.
Flexible hours, flexible customers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if
all the
if
guns
Frank
he
doesn't,
wants.
He loves the whore game.
He loves the whore game. And if he doesn't get this thing done, he loses that and he has to go back and work for a living.
He's but he always wanted to be a pimp, like a pimp in a suit, a business suit. He's like, I've always wanted to take the pimp game to a new level. His thesis was on his thesis was pimpin' ain't easy. New scientific marketing dynamics for the new generation of pimpery. And he goes on to say how we'll just convert massage parlors into whorehouses, and it will be much classier than having to buy a woman on a street because you never know what you're gonna get. Our girls are clean. We test them.
Yeah.
We got oil.
How do you think these places were like before Yelp? So in the 1970s. You would like see a storefront and be like, okay, I'll go check this out, and you have no idea what you're walking into.
Hughes, I think we know damn well that if the front of the store looked like this, it's probably a rub and tug.
You look at the hours. If it's open past 10, it's a telltale sign, neon sign. If the inside looks like, like you're going into a detention center, there's like a big glass window with some...
And like a buzzer.
Yeah.
It's probably a rub tug.
Probably.
I think right now, I would ask, where is our knowledge coming from of rub and tugs in the modern age?
Word of mouth.
No, man, you have not been to a rub and tug. Don't let the listeners think that you're some guy that goes to.
No, not on purpose.
But there is somebody that's been to multiple rub and tugs.
Yeah, and this is how I know these things.
Because he's told you the whole rules, whole rule of rub and tugs.
Right, and out of respect for that person's privacy, I won't say what it is or anything like that. But yeah, there are rules. I mean, one specifically is like 40 for the door, 40 for the whore. When you go in, to quote.
He also said past 10.
Oh yeah, the hours are past 10. If you go in there and they ask you, they ask what you do, it's like, so what you do, you cop? Is like the first question, and then red flag. Don't try and if they say they don't have gift certificates, that's another red flag too.
That's a brilliant way to like figure it out though. Do you have gift certificates?
Yeah.
Because they may not be there next week.
You may not. You may not be at all.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a different staff.
You may not
there.
be going home. So we go to the parlor, right? The massage parlor, and Katie's sitting behind the desk. A guy comes in and she's already pissed, right? So a guy walks in like a potential customer, and she's like, "Well, what the fuck do you want?" Basically, he's like, I just came in for a massage, ma'am. This is a... Or no, he says, I came in for a rub down. And she's like, is that all? And he's like, huh?
You one of them pervs?
And okay, so he's a legit customer. He says he, quote, saw the sign and came in. Uh-huh. And so there's a montage of him getting a massage, a shave, a haircut, and a shampoo. And then he gives a nice tip, and he says he'll come back and bring the whole office. Mm-hmm. Cut to, it's now super crowded. And there's all these guys waiting for their rub downs. All these businessmen waiting for their lunch rub down. I was
going to say, do you think that this still exists where there's just a bunch of men at lunch that just want to get shaved and get rubbed?
Get shaved and rubbed, yeah.
Yeah, you haven't been to shave and rub?
Yeah, shave and rub. That sounds like a legit business, doesn't it? So we go, okay, it's all crowded, right? And then this guy in a trench coat and glasses comes in. They're like, hey, it's a long wait. He doesn't mind. And we cut to later. It's finally this trench coat guy's
Did
turn.
you think that was the cop? Because I thought it was the cop.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But no, it's just this guy.
Elliot.
And Mo tells him to come into the back and take off his clothes. And she walks in there and he won't take off his clothes.
So I'm like, what, does this guy have a wire on?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought he was a cop or something. And he's like, no, I'm not going to take my clothes off. So eventually he she gives him a massage, but he's still in his trench coat.
Yeah.
And his socks.
And she's doing this. Okay, she does this look to the camera. I wrote like a Flintstone animal. Like where she's like, it's a living.
Yeah.
Like, that's the look on her face.
That's her character of the movie. She looks to the camera a lot and like, do you sympathize with me?
Am I right? And then we go to later. They actually made some money. And then Katie says, oh, by the way, I'm making you all equal business partners.
And I'm like, show me the paperwork.
Hip, hip, hooray. The girls leave.
Hip to hip, hooray.
And then Frank comes storming in before Katie can leave, and he's got a rose in hand, right? Mm-hmm. And then he's like, hey, look. She's like, oh, I think I remember you. Weren't you that guy that said he was going to paddle my ass and is from the mob? And he's like, no, I want a little piece. And he goes, no, P-E-A-C-E.
Which he says multiple times, and we get it.
And he apologizes, and he invites her to lunch. She agrees when he says he will pay.
Yeah.
Very women's lib.
It's so bad. He's like, I'll pay. And she's like, well, in that case.
Oh, free lunch.
The date goes well, okay? He gets her drunk, and they're back at her place. He shakes her hand and leaves. What a classy pimp, by the way. He's doing it the right way. And then we go back to the parlor later, and now Elliot, the trench coat guy from before, is getting a massage from Mo again. And oh my God. These lines that he says, now this is where we can mention both of these characters are black. Because what Elliot says, and I have the whole quote written down.
Well, I think you have a beautiful body, Elliot.
I'm awkward and scrawny. Me, a black dude. No muscles, no physique.
So what?
I mean, what good is it being black? Can't fight, can't run. Forget football. Can't even turn on a white chick.
Well, there are other things.
What's the use?
Hey, you look at me. I'm worse off than you are.
You are?
I can't sing.
Come on.
Can't carry a tune.
Oh, wow.
And you ready for me to lay something else on you?
Oh, my God. You mean?
Can't dance.
You got no rhythm?
Ta-da!
So this line delivery, me, a black dude, sounds more like Keanu Reeves delivering it.
Yeah.
And then he starts screaming.
Me, an Asian guy.
Yeah. He starts screaming. I'm like, this is Kevin Hart. A scrawny little black dude that screams at you through a movie.
Okay, it gets worse, Chris, because then Mo says, I'm worse off than you are. Can't sing, can't carry a tune, can't dance.
Can't get no rhythm.
And I write, oh my God. So I write, in this movie, black people are only allowed to be football players or singers. Wow. Wow. So then they take that into the steam room. You find out Elliot's a virgin, and she goes, I was a virgin myself once until I was 13. Almost.
Well, almost 13.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Jesus Christ. What is it with these movies in the 70s where every girl used to be a virgin until she was like 12?
Or like,
what are we, in fucking medieval Europe or something? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, is this something that we want to impart to people? It's like, it's okay to lose your virginity when you're 13.
It's like a cheerleader's move. Like,
Jesus
he said he had
Christ.
a hose for that. He did.
Yeah. Then she takes her top off, and there's a great line where he goes, oh my God, breasts. And then they kiss and soap in the shower, and I write, it looks more awkward than sexy.
This shower scene went on for way too long. There's no sex in it.
No, it's like a crown shower scene.
It's a little. No, they were actually getting clean from the nasty cum-covered floor of the steam.
There was like an actual bar of soap involved.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? And then they say they have a lot in common because they both have nothing going on in their lives, and they're both attracted to failure. And I'm like, my God.
And I want to know if this is a turning point in the movie where the massage parlor goes back to being a brothel now.
Yeah.
Because he is a paying customer.
Like,
Yeah.
why is she doing? Why is she flipping
Well,
like this?
they
all
said
of a
they
sudden?
needed a dumb girl,
Like,
guys.
and she got him. Yeah.
So then the crown style sex scene happens.
Mm-hmm.
So much random skin that is barely lit. I can't even, like, at some points it looks like some sort of painting, like
Yes.
an impressionist painting. I can't see like what's
It's like a still from a like Ingmar Bergman film.
It looks like the time tunnel in 2001. You know,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just random images of things, and you're like, oh, skin. And there's just really crazy music that's
Yeah,
being
it's like
played.
a James Bond theme with
That's what I wrote.
with lyrics.
All the sex scenes are like James Bond beginning songs. Goldfinger, like that type of stuff.
Rub and tug.
So then we go to the girls hanging out, and they're just hanging out in a park, and Liz is asking Katie who's been inside of her because she looks so happy. That's her line. She says, Katie, you look really happy. Who you been seeing? Or who's been in you? Huh?
Yeah, and they're talking about like she kissed one dude and now she's all happy. I'm like, they never kissed.
Well, maybe off screen, you know.
Somewhere else.
And by the way,
Yeah,
this
little
whole
downstairs kiss.
But yeah, the Australian kiss, you know, it's like an American, it's like a French kiss, but down under.
So these three girls are walking through a park, and it's like really bad, uneven ADR.
Oh, yeah, because this was obviously a little stolen shot they did. Like, I would just go film it from the car, zoom in.
And the discussion they're having is kind of crazy. So Mo and Elliot have now had the sex scene inside the parlor, and Katie's like, hey, you know what, Liz? Your boyfriend's not fucking you? He's not getting the job done? Bring him to the massage parlor. Fuck him.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, what is this business again? Yeah, because basically Liz says that, her boyfriend doesn't want to fuck her, and Katie's solution is bring him to the massage parlor. And then Mo's solution says, she goes, you just got to act dumb.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I guess it works for her, but that's not, oh, you want your boyfriend to fuck you? Just act like an idiot.
And so
just be like, what do I spread them?
So this is
what's a condom?
Do I wear the condom or do you?
So this is this weird scene that they're setting up where the girls start in the movie where they're calling all the whores just fucking terrible people whores. Yeah. But if they do the same exact thing but do it for free, though, they're not whores.
Right. They're opportunists.
Yeah, come on, Chris. Those oils work both ways.
Apparently. And this is where we get like the end of the women's lib movement in this movie.
Oh my God. This is the Mr. Crown line that he insisted be put into this. Insisted. Because she says, oh, hell with women's lib. I'm horny.
Oh, the hell with women's lib. I'm horny.
And the girls all laugh. They look at each other like,
yeah.
And Mr. Crown's like, see? You see what I'm talking about? Yeah, you were there when we used to be delivery men.
Yeah.
And that one crazy guy that used to work there. And the one guy was telling us how he was going to get married. And this crazy guy that we used to work with, Rob.
Yeah.
When he goes, what did she do? Suck you into marriage?
No, he goes, hey, so did your girlfriend, before we married, did she suck your dick? And he's like, yeah. But I guess he could say she sucked you into marriage.
And he goes, trust me, that'll stop. And you're like, Rob,
projecting a little bit, Rob.
Yeah.
Like, we get it. You don't like your life with your Dodge Neon and delivering food at 40, but, we're kids. Leave us alone.
Did I ever tell you about the worst guy who ever worked there? He worked...
Mac?
No. Oh, no. You have no idea. You have no idea. We used to all be delivery guys, and they would hire literally anybody. Mm-hmm. And so one guy showed up for an interview in a suit. He showed up for a suit, and they were like, all right, fine, that's the weirdest person we've ever seen interview. Yeah, you can drive for us. And so the first day he got fired because he showed up to an office building for their catering delivery dressed as a clown.
What?
Yep.
He brought the food in dressed in a Bozo the Clown outfit. Like, he's like, hey, happy food, and he brings it in and everything. And they tell him to come back, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? And they come to find out not only is he a crazy man, he lives in his van. He had no home, and he lived with a dog. And his only suits were the suit and a clown outfit, apparently. So you remember how there's those, like, mysterious clown guys going around town? I think I know one.
Oh,
I think I know one.
Okay. Well, maybe he was hoping for a bigger tip. Maybe it was a theme party.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
It was an it-themed party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A guy comes delivering your food dressed as it. You're going to let that guy in your house, right?
Okay, if he lived in his van, how clean do you think that clown outfit was? I'm pretty sure it probably had, like, stains from leftover food that he couldn't deliver.
I think there was a lot of Lewinsky-style stains on that one.
Oh, God. The horn.
The police were eventually like, no, we'll need that outfit for evidence. We've never found so much DNA on one outfit.
People who deliver food, quality people. I worked with so many quality people.
Yeah, they were all quality.
You got me that job, you weirdo.
It was good money. So we go to the massage parlor, and
speaking of good money.
We go to the parlor, and Liz is massaging the artist guy, and he's just complaining. He's like, you're making me itchy.
I couldn't stand this guy. You know what? I love getting massaged.
Yeah, he's like,
it feels good.
Yeah.
Stop touching me. And then he gets all mad, and he's like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do? And it's like, dude, she wants to fuck you.
Yeah.
Do you understand what men and women do? Like, the man puts his penis in. She's like, I don't understand, Liz. What is this all about? And she didn't even know what to say.
He calls her an idiot.
Yeah.
He goes, "You're an idiot." And I'm like, what? I don't get it.
Well, she says she just wants him to feel sexy.
Yeah, she's doing her best to make this relationship work, and he's doing his best to be a fucking idiot. And so basically he gets mad and leaves. And then we go back to Carlo's office, and the big boss Vito is there. And he wants to know what's going on.
You want to know why Leo, or why the lawyer died?
Yeah, he's like, Carlo, the lawyer ate a bullet. Do you know anything about that? And he's like, oh, yeah, it's no big deal. I killed that guy. He was just some shyster lawyer. And I write,
He was the organization's mouthpiece.
Yeah.
The lawyer was like the connection to the mob for that territory.
Yeah.
And he just showed up dead. Oh, and happens to be like another mob boss pimp died that was connected to him, and they're all dying in Carlos territory.
Yeah, and Carlo's like, no, you don't understand. He told me to shoot him. I mean, what was I supposed to do? And so the Vito's like, well, Carlo, you better take care of business or else. And then he leaves. And then Carlo tells Harry the Hugger, to go over to that massage parlor and give some hugs and then rearrange some furniture.
I love
And
that.
get this thing signed.
Yeah.
I love that.
You know, like he said, first the threats, then the violence. We're going to go by the rules. If this doesn't work, we're up Schitt's Creek.
Well, did you hear like their reasoning on this? Like they can't have a legitimate massage parlor working anywhere at all because somehow the other brothels may get wind and go legit.
Yeah,
I don't
they were
know.
like,
That's so weird.
Yeah, they're like, if one,
we got 4 other brothels in one legitimate place. This legitimate place is going to turn over all the other brothels.
they're all of a sudden they're gonna be like, wait, we don't have to touch dicks for a living. You don't understand. They get a taste of freedom and they're all gonna want it. These whores are not gonna be whores anymore. We're gonna have to give them rights and health care and everything. It's gonna be a fucking disaster.
We have to supply condoms. You realize how expensive those are?
Next is going to be a union. So Liz is behind the desk at the parlor, right? Mm-hmm. And Harry arrives and she's like, oh, do you want to rub down? He's like, no, I need you to sign this. And he's doing his weird smile thing again. And he's like, it's an insurance policy. And then Mo comes out and they're both like, well, we don't need an insurance policy. We have an insurer. It's fine. And she's reading the contract. She goes, this is a real terrible contract, you know? It says you take 50% of the profit.
50%
of the gross profit.
Yeah.
Like before anybody gets paid, we get paid 50%.
Like, do you guys not understand that the mob used to run this place? Like, do you really legitimately not get that this was a rub and tug and that guy was coming to, like, are you that fucking stupid? I mean, the writing is on the wall, and they're like, what? This is the weirdest insurance salesman I've ever seen.
Man, State Farm's already gone downhill. You know?
So then he takes a chair and he just breaks it, right? And they don't even seem intimidated at this point. They're just like, well, sir, I mean, we'll get to you next. And they're not even really annoyed. And
No. So this scene had me a weird mindset of mine is, okay, they're having a problem with this rub and tug. What if they just took all the former clientele that comes in and looking for a rub and tug and go, we refer you to these other 4 businesses that will provide this for you, and the mob will be happy.
Why did they need this rub and tug so bad?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of other things. If Leo was running this rub and tug, who then paid Carlo, then why would Carlo and then Leo somehow blackmailing Carlo, but not for the rub and tug money? It
was apparently because Leo had recorded Carlo, which we'll find out, saying something he shouldn't have said, and he was blackmailing him by saying, like, I'm not going to pay you anymore because I have stuff against you. I'm running my own business. I don't need you.
Yeah, but he killed Carlo and he still was being blackmailed.
Yeah.
Like nothing changed when he killed Carlo.
Like I said, it's very confusing, this whole thing, as it winds down.
When you start to write out what's going on, you lose it.
So Harry breaks another chair, and then he tries to give Liz a hug. And then...
This is the greatest way to kill women, by the way.
He's like, come here, let me give you a hug.
A lover's embrace.
And then he says in the insurance game, they call this the hard sell. Is what he says. And then I guess the hug doesn't work, and he says, I'll be back when Katie's in the office for her autograph, because she's like, well, I'm not even the boss. You'll need the real lady. So then he goes. Then we go to the harbor, and we just get a shot of Katie and Frank riding on a a bicycle built for two with just obviously stolen footage from some office above the harbor or something. And ADR, and she says, "Can you believe they threatened us with violence?" And I write, "Yeah, Katie, he works for them. He works for the fucking mob. Like, are you forgetting this? Do you remember? Do you remember in the beginning of the fucking movie?"
And this love story between them is so blah.
Oh my god.
It is so nothing.
It's like she forgets that he was part of the mob and he threatened to paddle her.
This whole movie, everybody forgets. From scene to scene, there's like, 6 months in between.
They go like, "Do I know you?"
Yeah, it's like such a rapid disassociation. Like it never happened.
Yeah.
It's like it's another toupee someone's wearing. It's another haircut that we don't know who this person is.
So we go to the artist studio, right?
Yeah.
Liz and the artist fight, and he's all mad because she's trying to seduce him.
Yeah, you fucking women with your... the fun was in the chase. And you're just now giving it up and you just want to fuck all the time.
The full quote is, the problem with you sexually liberated chicks, from the mouths of Mr. Crown himself, you take all the fun out of the chase. I can't chase you around the office anymore. I can't grab an ass. I can't tell you to wear skirts. I mean, what the I'll tell you, the 70s, Carter's in the White House, and oh boy.
And he was complaining about being conned with the massage parlor routine. And I'm like, con him out of what?
Yeah.
But it was a great. So now we're getting into this relationship, which is, it's weird enough to be interesting. They judge the relationships not by time, but by number of paintings.
Yeah, he goes,
oh god,
how long have I known you? 4, 5, 6 paintings.
Not 4 or 6 paintings, not 5 or 6, 4, 5 or 6.
Yeah.
It's a weird line. And then he was going to make the move within the next 20 paintings.
Okay, by the way, is he a photographer? Because in the beginning of this movie, he was painting her body.
Yeah, he's gonna photograph her.
He was going to photograph her. Do you think he was like, all right, well, this one's done. Go take a shower.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
She's like, are you going to take a picture? No, it's just for fun. Just needed to practice on a body.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Live study.
Work for Cirque du Soleil now. So. But he says one of the worst lines in the whole movie to her is he goes, I like you because I know beneath that tough exterior you're scared to death. And I'm like, what?
So they were trying to get really deep on this because her line to him was, you're a lousy artist and a bad shrink.
Yeah.
What the hell does that have to do with anything?
They just start talking like they're in an Academy Award movie or something. But it all works because she eventually cries and hugs him. And I write, well, just break her down mentally, I guess. That's the lesson to be learned.
We get another song.
Make her think she's nothing.
Horribly cut sex scene. There's just like jump cuts and terrible music. It goes on for a long time. Lots of back.
Yeah. Psychedelic undertones with red light painting the scene.
Of course.
Yeah, this is the funky artist.
Oh, God.
So then we go to the parlor at night. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
This is where this movie just moves into the ridiculous territory.
Like, oh, boy. Carlo is sneaking around looking for something. I write, what? What is he looking for? He needs them to sign an agreement.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he looking for? A pen? I mean, what is he doing in here? Because he's just kind of looking around in drawers and stuff, but for what? We never learn for what. What could he possibly gain by going in there?
He's in the office looking for the tapes.
Oh, he must be. Okay, he's looking for the tapes.
So somehow he thinks that Leo dies. Right. He's still being blackmailed, but somehow he still thinks Leo's has the tapes.
Ah.
Leo's dead, and the
I
lawyer's
wanted to see
dead.
him exhume a corpse and like see if the tapes are in the casket.
And like this is the middle of the night, and for some reason Mo and Elliot must have a sex coming because she shows up in the office.
Like either Mo's living there now or
is she like a live-in masseuse or what?
Okay, but this, oh my God. So Mo comes in, and we said she's real dumb. So,
well, she plays dumber.
Oh boy. So she goes to turn on a lamp, and I love this. So she goes to turn on the lamp, and then Carlo just knocks it over, and he's like, ha! And she's like, ah! And he grabs her, and he's like, what are you doing here? And she goes,
God.
In the worst...
I put like a house slave dialect.
Yeah. She goes like...
Work here?
No, sir. I was just a cleaning lady. Sure enough.
Have you ever seen any tapes lying around here anywhere?
No, sir. I don't see nothing. I just does my work and then I goes home to my fire baby, so I gotta call it.
All right. Now look, you didn't see anybody around here tonight. Understand?
Oh, no, sir. I didn't see nobody. Nobody. No way, no how. No, sir. Well, shut my motherfucking mouth.
Oh, man. What do you think the direction was on set? They're like, no, Mo, can you come over here?
Like you work for Paula Deen.
Now, in the...
You've seen Roots?
You know how they do that thing down south where they do that little bit of... I once went to this place. I'm going to be as delicate as I can and explain this.
If you use used people, I'm leaving.
I went into this place and where they pick cotton, a plantation, if you will, down in Louisiana. And they put on these real nice accents.
Oh,
you ever heard some of those?
Very charming.
Maybe kind of like one of them commercials on TV for the syrup. You think?
Oh, God.
We're just wondering, could you put on a little bit of that?
God, it's so
she's
bad.
Like, is there another $50 or... Jesus Christ. Yeah, she says, no, she's just the cleaning lady, show enough. Wow. You think he also said, and also, could you throw in a show enough? I'm just asking. You don't have to, but honestly, it'll make the movie. And then Carlo basically tells her to leave and that she didn't see anybody. And he's like, okay.
And then she looks to the camera and she goes, shut my motherfucking mouth.
Yeah, she like breaks the fourth wall.
Right in the camera.
Do you think she said that because of the line she had to deliver? She's like, well, shut my motherfucking mouth. That was embarrassing.
The movies that we've been covering, I wish that the black men would have had this scene where they could like talk to the audience, be like, listen, you're dead if you talk like this. This is not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you weren't in the episode where Hughes and I had to deal with a white man grabbing a black man by the collar and telling him to act like a real black man and not the N-word.
Oh, my God.
It was worse than Massacre Mafia style in Weekend with the Babysitter. He dresses down a black man. And
multiple times.
The guy in the movie gives him a look like, if I swear to fucking God, if you say one more word, I'm going to fucking kill you. So then we go to the cops, right?
Yeah, we're going to get a breakout.
I write, wow, I forgot these were characters. So we go to the cops, and this gumshoe is talking about, you could really care less, right?
Oh, none of this makes sense. So I wrote it down because
oh God,
why does it have to make sense?
I was just going to skip over it.
No. Because there is a part of this that comes into play.
Okay.
So the gumshoe is like, Leo was a pimp for the mob. The parlor is now operated by Leo's niece. Frank's father is in Leavenworth for 5 years. Frank has been to every rub down in the city. Frank and Katie have been together a number of times. He's been there for the dates.
I was in the bedroom.
I was
under the bed.
And Lieutenant says, yeah, you need instinct and analysis, and you have no evidence. You can't take any of this. And he goes, okay, well, you can just go and talk to Katie and say, hey, have they tried to turn your parlor into a brothel? Do they ever ask this question to Katie?
No! I was like, well, you could have saved us 40 minutes. I mean, can you imagine if the cop just walked in one day and goes, hey, by the way, does that guy come around? Did he ever ask you to join the mob? Thank you. Great.
Yeah, done.
But no, we go to Frank and Katie. He gets her drunk again, but this time at home.
This girl gets drunk a lot.
This is his game. This is Frank's game, is like, liquor him up. Liquor and lick, you know. Maybe she'll bring out that Jergens. I'll see how the work goes, you know. Turn it over. So the music starts. She wants to talk serious. And then she sits him down on the couch. She goes, I'm falling in love with you. And I write, did she honestly forget that he works for the mob?
Yes. I have, it's only been a week because he hasn't.
Yeah. I'm like, are you a fucking idiot? This man threatened you.
Maybe he Cosby'd her.
That's why he must get her drunk.
Yeah.
She forgets.
It just never happened.
She has like the disease from Memento. Like she just doesn't understand anything. And so then we get another sex scene, and this is like in a black box with one single light source. It's very odd. And the music, I write like a James Bond movie song. Then, by the way,
this is our third sex scene. All of them were filmed identical. All of them lasted for almost the same exact amount of time.
Yeah.
This was a formula, and this is okay.
Also, I wrote nice shag covers, like a certain van. So we go to later. Katie switches out the 8-track tape, and then she hears like a Carlo on the tape, and I don't really know what it says.
Carlo's talking about how he turned a deal with the Attorney General against the mob. Katie finally figures out that Frank sets up massage parlors as brothels, and now she is contemplating what to do and is crying.
So the jig is up. We go back to Frank's house. The doorbell rings frantically. It's Katie. She walks in. She calls him a dirty bastard. And she goes, and I write, Katie, he came into your shop trying to get you to sign a fucking contract. Remember? You know this. You know this? All of this is not new. Mm-hmm. You know it from the first 10 minutes of this movie. Or did you forget? And then she says, you were good. So good I almost let you make me a whore.
And like, so he was going to be able to get that contract signed, and so psychology worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, the new marketing dynamics from Harvard are working great.
Yeah.
We go to the cops. The gumshoe gives the boss a big pile of papers and asks if he has a case.
You skipped a part. You go back. She came in with the 8-track.
She handed it to him.
She did not leave with the 8-track.
Yeah, she handed it to him. You're right. It's like, okay. And then we go to the cops. Nothing really happens, but they say, like, we're going to bring in Frank for 24 hours.
Somehow they have a bunch of evidence now.
Yeah, in like a half hour. Because the last time we had them talk was like the afternoon. Now it's the night.
Yeah.
So then we go to Carlo's office, and Frank plays the 8-track tape. And Carlo's like all pissed. He's like, wait, did she hear this and everything? He's like, well, you have the copy. I mean, you have the evidence. You have everything you need. You're done. You're done, Carlo. You've got it.
No. Okay, so this scene is bullshit. Why? Because on that tape, he talks about Frank. Hey, Frank is this guy. Frank goes to jail for this. I am ratting out Frank. And then Frank goes to Carlo. Hey, here's this evidence of you saying this to me.
Right.
And you're a bastard.
Yeah, you're a mean guy.
You're a bad guy.
I know you've killed people, but I got you now.
But darn.
Okay. And then Frank says, hey, but I want you to stop bothering my girlfriend because I love her. And you broke the rules by naming names. Mob rules. Okay?
Yeah, what was it, Omerta?
Yeah, Omerta. We're going to hear that line like 50 more times.
It's the new bread.
Vow of silence, yes.
So Carlos says that he's going to go to the massage parlor and get a rub down or maybe a rub out. And I love that line. By the way, should I tell the story of the first time we heard the term rub out?
Yes, please do.
Share your wedding story.
So it was the night before my wedding.
It was, when everybody was coming down.
And we were married in Palm Springs. My wife and I were married in Palm Springs. Unfortunately, Duke Mitchell had passed away, so we couldn't hire the king of Palm Springs to sing at our wedding, but boy, that we really wanted it.
Oh, we had spaghetti.
But we're staying in my dad had rented this house and we're having a party.
Yeah.
And my Uncle Carl, who will be on this show one day, by the way, and he always tweets at us. Uncle Carl walks in and he's like, "Hey, you see all that traffic on the way here?" We're like, "Yeah." And he goes, "It must have been a rub out." And we're like, "What?" Well, he's from New Jersey, and apparently rub out is a term for when they whack a guy.
Yeah.
Because they thought whack was too gay, so.
Well, that's just another thing they can offer at the massage parlor.
We don't like the connotation. Rub out, please. Because he said that a guy... Okay, this highway was in the middle of nowhere, and he goes, yeah, there was just a guy on a bike. He goes, classic rub out. Dump the body, throw a bike. But I am going to tell Uncle Carl's story about getting in a car accident because
it
this
goes hand in hand.
This is fucking amazing. So he goes on to tell us, he goes, I was in a car accident almost died. And we're like, oh my God, what happened? And he goes, well, I was driving, it was really icy, and my car flipped over, and I was on the side of the highway, and like some lady came up to his window apparently and looked at him and then just ran. He must have been doing his Rodney Dangerfield impression. My luck, right? I'll tell you.
I love him.
And he goes, his car flipped over, not a scratch on him. He makes it to his hotel in time. He checks into the hotel, and he was waiting for somebody for dinner at the hotel. He's meeting a family member. They show up really late, and he's like, oh, hey, yeah, how you doing? They sit down, they go, oh, sorry we're so late, Carl. Some jackass flipped his car on the highway, and he goes, oh, that was me! And then, here's the best part. It was a rental car. And he tells us he called up Hertz the same night, and he goes, hey, yeah, I'm going to need another car. And they're like, I'm sorry? Goes, yeah, the old one's, it's done. It flipped over on the highway and everything. And they're like, oh, no. You're going to have to come in and meet with us. And he's like, well, the meeting's at 7, so I'll just go to Avis. I mean, it's out of my hand. So just wait. We will get Uncle Carl. Next time he comes and visits, he will be on this show.
Him. Oh,
he
my
will
God.
definitely be on this show.
Incredible guy.
And he's got a movie for us called Mother's Day that we're going to cover, which it's too bad he can't come down now because we could have really used the Mother's Day special.
Yeah.
But that can't be a Skype one. We need Uncle Carl in person.
Is that the first one where he saw boobs?
Yes, he did tell us on Twitter, I believe that's the first time he ever saw boobs on screen.
So. Oh, okay. Cool. There's no like Dangerfield exploitation film he can use. I mean,
oh no, you'll like Mother's Day.
Unfortunately, Dangerfield, when he started his career, was already past most of the exploitation.
Yeah, I know.
And he was already like 50-something years old.
Oh, because I could have seen him in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, for sure. He's like, huh, what do you mean turn over? And he does the old bug out. He's like, oh. So we go, okay. Basically, Carlo leaves that office, right? And he says he's going to get a rub down or a rub out. It would have been great if he did both. And then Harry comes into the office, and Carlo's like, make sure Frank doesn't get away. And if he does, do one of your old-fashioned hugs, the old hard sell. We go to the parlor, and Carlo walks in and just mows there. And he goes, where is the owner? And she says, we're all owners. And he says, I mean the good-looking one. It's like, dude, fuck you.
Right to her face.
And she goes, well, I think you found her. Like, also, Mo, you don't remember this guy?
Okay, so I stopped the movie. And I'm like, wait, maybe I have my notes wrong, and that wasn't Carlo.
That's what I was thinking.
And I went all the way back. I'm like, maybe it was the cop. Maybe it was something.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too.
And I go back, and I'm like, no, that's Carlo.
Yeah,
that's them together, face to face.
Yeah, how do you forget that voice? How do you forget his hands around your neck?
How often, when you're working in a place, do people walk in and demand to see the owner,
the quote good-looking one,
the good-looking one, and you're supposed to answer and respond? I wouldn't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Be like, they're not here. Come back when they're here later.
No, but Mo,
with the cops.
Again, Mo, again, cements herself as the real dumb one. She's like talking to this guy and entertaining him. At one point, she goes, do I know you? It's like, yeah, you do. And then he's like, wait, where is she? Where's the owner? And he's like, she's at the park. I'm like, Mo's just deflecting, right?
I thought she was like going to send him on a
goose chase.
Yeah, like a wild goose chase or something. She's like, no, she's at the park. And he's like, what park? Where? What park? What's the address? What hours? And she's like, the amusement park.
Because there's only one.
And I write, she didn't really go to that amusement park, right, Mo? God. Right? I mean, that was just a ploy, right? Cut to Carlo's office. We'll find out soon.
Oh, God.
Frank tries to get away from hugging Harry, and the way he gets away is he just kind of lightly slaps him in the face and then makes a run for it. And then Harry tries to hug him, and Frank hits him over the head with a heavy object, and Harry doesn't get up. I go, did he just kill him?
I don't know.
Because all we see is him hit him with a statue on the back of the head, and then he slumps down in the chair. I'm like, oh, he just murdered a man.
Yeah.
But what I don't get is Frank is like, hey, I have a recording of Carlo telling the Attorney General that everything about our business. It's right there in that drawer. If you listen to it, we can leave and we can go stop my Carlo, and, end this movie.
Yeah. And he goes like, you know what? Hugging's my business. I don't know anything about, this.
Fucking and
hugging and whores. That's all I know. Hugging, whores, and breaking chairs. That's my department, all right? You and your fancy tapes. I don't know nothing about it, Mr. Harvard. So then we go back to the parlor. Frank runs over there, and then he asks Mo where Katie is. And for some reason, now Mo's giving him all sorts of questions. And she's like, why do you want to know? He's like, Mo,
I'm the boyfriend.
Yeah, she's like, Mo, you've seen me before. Did a man come in here? And she's like, I think so.
Oh, my God.
And so basically, she tells him where Katie is, but Frank leaves, and then Jimmy Stewart's there waiting for him. It takes him downtown, okay? And he's like, oh, you're not going to get away with it this time. So
when this happens, right, I'm like, okay, he has been prevented from saving Katie. Katie should just die, and this movie will end, and Carlo will live on.
Yeah.
And this will be a great end to this film.
Basically, yeah.
This movie ends so bizarre. So bizarre. The last 10 minutes of this movie.
Company.
Yeah.
This whole movie was Three's Company.
We go to the police, and they're interrogating Frank, and he says, like, somebody's in trouble. She's important. This Omerta thing keeps coming up over and over. Mob rules. And so then Frank says, look, can you let me go, and I'll come back tomorrow? And I write, you think that'll ever work?
One day.
It's like, you know what, guys? I got a lot to do. Can I come back tomorrow?
I've got some business papers.
I promise I'll come back.
Well, what's funny, okay. So this is 74, so Miranda rights are already in place. He's a mob guy. He would just say, wait for my lawyer, and then wait for the 20, and just be done. But no, then they this bizarre thing of like, hey, okay, I'll tell you everything. Just get me a phone.
Yeah.
Let me make a phone call. Don't listen in.
Exactly.
Or
Yeah, he does
Or
say something
listen
about
in.
the one phone call I get. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure you get a phone call just for talking to the cops. I think that's if you're actually arrested. 'Cause
Right.
He's not arrested. He's just being held. You have to wait there 24 hours, basically.
So, okay, we're going to give you a phone. You can call whoever, and then we're going to get the statement. And he goes, okay, but you can try to listen in, but I'm going to talk in Sicilian Pig Latin.
It's like, okay.
Okay.
But he does make a call, and we just see a car leave a parking garage. Okay, so, but let's go to the other scene that's happening while that's happening, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
An amusement park. So Mo told Carlo exactly where Katie was. The one amusement park, apparently. Which, by the way, this was a real amusement park.
Was this Pacific Park?
No, this is the Pike Amusement Park.
Yeah, it had a really cool entrance
Which was
to it,
in
too.
Long Beach, California.
Yeah.
It's now an outlet mall.
Yeah.
But it used to be...
Oh, Pike's Place.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where the Aquarium of the Pacific is.
Yes,
We
it
went
used
there,
to be a full-on amusement park like this.
I was there about a month ago with my girlfriend. We were trying to look for remnants of it, and there are certain areas that used
Oh,
to be there.
really?
Yeah, there's like certain little...
Yeah, that was in this movie.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
funny because on the Wikipedia for that park, they go, all the movies that it was in, and Manhandlers is not
Not
one of
in
them. But they might show more of this park in Manhandlers than any movie because, oh boy, is this amazing.
We see everything.
It's like they had a deal with them or something. Like, no, hold on. We got to use like 4 rides. That's what he told me. So we watched Kate ride a Ferris wheel alone.
Yeah.
Depressed.
This is probably like the most serial killer thing ever is to go to an amusement park alone.
All right, why are we here? Like, I'm just very confused as to why we're here. She's riding a Ferris wheel, and then Carlo just shows up and watches her ride it for a while.
He's mean mugging her the whole time.
Yeah,
just
but
like the most
at
pissed
some
off
point it's
face.
like, does she notice? Or because then it keeps going on. So we'll come back to the amusement park, and Carlo just kind of like walks or like follows her as she walks around this scarily vacant amusement park at this point, and there's weird carnival music going on. Then we go back to the police station. Frank gives his statement, and the gumshoe, he basically says that the gumshoe's an ignorant clown that doesn't know his ass from an earlobe.
And sir, you can't say ass in court.
Like, he totally took it serious, and I didn't know if it was a joke or if it was just weird writing.
I think it was supposed to be a joke.
It went flat, but I did like the part where he goes, he's a salesman for the hooker placement program.
They get out of hooker school. It's like one of those nursing schools, he's the placement guy.
You think that he wouldn't have to sell a hooker placement program? It would kind of sell itself.
No. You need to be trained hookers, all right? He's bringing it to the new millennium, Chris. So we go to the amusement park. All right, this is great. This scene is great. We see Katie riding on bumper cars, and you cut to a shot of Carlo just looking pissed, like the actor's pissed. Like he's like, like, are you fucking kidding me? He's just standing there. He's like, no, Carlo, it will be fine. We'll get it done real quick. Just let her ride around a little bit. My friend who let us film here, he said we got to show at least 4 rides so we can show the attractions. Can you just stand in the corner? We're going to roll. And then he's like, zoom in on Carlo, zoom in. And he's just got the most pissed, like, he's fucking done for the day. Like, craft services was a soft pretzel, and he is fucking done.
No, it was a fucking fire festival dish. It was bread and cheese.
He opens up a styrofoam container. It's just a piece of bread with a cheese on it. Then we see a shot of her riding in some like Ferris wheel-esque ride that you ride in a cage. And this is amazing. Carlo is in one of the cages.
I was dying when I saw that.
He just fucking looks at the camera so upset. Like, can I get the fuck out of here? And this is amazing because at this point I write, okay, is he now here to just have fun as well? Because the next thing we'll see is him playing a shooting game. And I'm like, so did he just at one point, he's like, well, if you can't beat him, join him. Like,
how many takes do you think they did of him in that ride? Like going around and around
Carlo,
and around.
give us a smile. Carlo, I don't think he can hear me. Carlo.
Take your hands off your ears, Carlo.
Carlo, don't look at the lens. Carlo. Oh, fuck it.
It's like my mom used to work at Knott's, and they let her be in a commercial they were filming there, and it was that Viking ship that goes from up and down. They did like 17 takes, and the whole thing was like a puddle of vomits within that thing after like 5 takes. I only wish that was what this movie had.
And they're like, act like you're having fun. We go and he's playing that shooting game, and then they ride another ride, and they're riding that one that just turns around,
like the spinning cups, but not.
Yeah, like
one?
the teacup, but not. Like if you're at a cheap fair, it usually has Bozo the Clown on the back of it,
And the whole time there's like this weird score that doesn't really have any music. It has a drum in the back and then weird noises.
Yeah, it sounds like some video game.
Yeah, it's.
And I
out
write,
there.
what the fuck is he waiting for? I go, did he just decide he should try and have some fun?
Yes.
And they'll just stay for a while?
He's waiting for her to acknowledge him so that the chase will happen because the fun is in the chase.
Yeah, he's like, she'll look over here eventually, right? If I just keep staring at her, she'll look here eventually. It's been 6 hours. And I'm like, she's just not going to work today? She's just going to the amusement park by herself? Who goes to, I need to reflect on life. I'm just going to go to Six Flags by myself for the day.
And you know what's funny is a woman could do it, but if I was to go to Disneyland by myself for the day...
Oh, I tried...
I'm the weirdo.
I have went to Disneyland once. When I had a season pass, I tried to go once by myself, and I was meeting somebody there. It was the most awkward 2 hours of my life.
Go ride the tram alone.
It's weird.
And look at what people do. Oh my God.
Everybody is staring at you, and you go in that singles line, and people are like, oh, here we go. What's wrong with this guy? Is his zipper up? You're just getting tailed by plainclothes guys the whole day. They're like, if you ever pull out your phone, they're making sure there's no pictures or video being taken. They're just like, why is this guy here?
Yeah. We took 2 cars. I had to wait. And so my story with Disneyland is I went there alone to wait. I was waiting for somebody to meet them there. So one time I did it where we were going to meet at the bar. Cool. That sucked. I took the tram in and I got stared at. So this time I'm like, okay, well, I got there first. She's going to park. So I'll wait in my car. Oh, do not wait in your car in the parking lot.
They think you're doing drugs.
They think I'm doing drugs. They swat my car with like 3 people. I'm sitting in my car aware, and it was an SUV, so you could see everything around you.
We got to dick out. We got to dick out.
They try to like smoothly come in from behind and not do it. I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? And they're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, waiting for somebody so then I can walk or go to the park. And
why is Pornhub on your phone, sir?
Yeah. How long are you going to be here? I'm like, I don't know, a couple hours. It's probably 4. You close at 8. I'll be here for about 4.5 hours. And then they leave. But they hate people that just stand still, and they'd rather you just go alone.
Chris, what was the code for that? We got a zipper. We got a...
It depends on what
was
out.
There's D&H, dick in hand.
No, there's a bunch of codes. I don't remember a dick in hand code, though.
Has anybody ever... when you worked there, had anybody ever pulled their dick out in Disneyland?
Not while I was there. But I have heard of instances, yeah.
Chris, tell everybody about the time that you saved a woman's life. I'm serious. This is a real thing that happened. I'm so hoping he tells the story.
Yeah, I was working at the Grand Californian Hotel, which is the hotel at California Adventure, and it's the gateway to go into California Adventure if you're staying at the hotel. So they have you can rent ECVs, which are little, basically just rascals, what we call them. And this older woman. So I'm working I'm taking, assisting with the ticket taking, and I'm at the fronts.
He's the stop and frisk guy.
No. There is a stop and frisk checkpoint there, which we would all cycle out through that area. So anyways, I'm helping take tickets, and I see this rascal from down the end of the hall. It's a long hall from where this happens.
Within the sight line, you see this rascal.
Yeah, I see it in the sight line. It's like, it's bright outside, so I just see the silhouette at first, and the silhouette gets faster and faster, and it's accelerating at a rapid pace. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, do they not know this is like an entrance to the park? And so it goes faster and faster, and all of a sudden she just like, I can't stop it, and I just go, oh my god. So I jump on the side of it and I steer it out of the
speed.
Yes, he's like fucking Keanu Reeves, this guy.
So I jump on the side of it, and it's literally about to careen into the front ticket taker area
where all these people are standing.
There's a lot of people here,
like children, strollers.
There's
chubby bodies everywhere.
No, seriously, it would have been bad.
It would have been
like the Roger Rabbit ride part 2. You know what I mean?
Oh god,
that kid got ran over.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's true.
It's true. That's why they tell you to keep your hands in the fucking guard, okay?
So I literally jump on the side, and now somehow, like, I'm turning the wheel, and now I don't know how it happened, but now I'm in front of it, like trying to stop it. Like Terminator or something.
And Dennis Hopper's showing up.
If this rascal goes below 5 miles an hour, it's gonna be a bloodbath.
So you stopped it?
I got in front of it. I'm now like riding on the front of it, and she's just like going. And I don't know what.
Are you like, ET on this ride?
You just see a shot of Chris flying by that mountain and over.
I want to hear this rascal like jump the turn, like flew into the air.
People in the Sorry California line are like, "Whoa!"
He lands in Thunder Rapids.
I like try to cut the yellow wire or the green wire. No, it was like 3 years ago. So I'm trying. I somehow stopped it. It skidded to a stop with my feet. So I think I like with my hand I hit the brake or something, and like then I turned the key off, and so then I just like, oh well, that was something. And so everyone that I work with is staring at me. Like all my supervisors like their mouth is hitting the floor. Like, what the fuck did you just? What the fuck was that? I didn't think anything of it. It was like lightning quick in my mind, but them it was like this long ordeal. And so I got called up and I was given like some safety award and like.
And you were like, "Oh, do I get a raise?" And they're like,
"Demoted."
Chris, thank you for avoiding another Roger Rabbit catastrophe in the park.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
You're welcome. A thankless job. Taking is.
Okay, so then speaking of
I'm sorry, I got this all in my mind. It's just how can you not visualize Chris on top of a rascal careening down a dark hallway into the sunlight,
an overweight old woman screaming.
Yeah. And you're like, just stand up, it'll turn off.
You know what you do? It's just like in the Van Nuys story I told you about when that wheelchair was out of control. You just run into something. Just run into a wall. Yeah. Like, it'll stop.
Yeah. The mass and velocity here, we got to think about that. It keeps going through the wall.
A brick wall? The rascal's just going to stop.
I have seen Roger Rabbit go through a brick wall.
Top speed is 5 miles an hour.
I probably would have been safer if I just let it go. I probably shouldn't have just
If you were in Toontown, you should have, because they could just fucking burn it. I went there as a kid. I went to Toontown, and we're all excited.
Oh, God,
and my family goes, and we walk in, and there's all these people there, and we're like, this is it?
Oh, it's awful. It is awful.
You wait 3 hours to go on Roger Rabbit, and it's just like, oh, wow, that sucked.
Gadgets Go coasters.
Oh, fuck it. Just burn it down. Burn it down. You know, well, you can see where Mickey lives. Yeah, I never really cared, so.
You know what, Toontown, rub it out.
She's headed for Toontown. Let her go. Let her go.
That rascal's just. Yeah, we got a 20 and a man on top of a rascal.
Don't worry. It's abandoned. Nobody's there. Nobody is there. She's been riding around Mickey's house for 20 minutes. One person came in.
They went through the wall of cobwebs.
She went into that fake jail. God damn.
I just picture like that rascal that's like in there like a pinball machine where it like bounces around and stuff. That's all it does. Just racking up points. I swear to God, it would have been better if she just hit something. It probably would have been less dangerous because I was. She could. Yeah, a lot of casualties could happen.
And they would have blamed it on you. They're like, well, Chris, our hands are tied. I mean, you signed that contract. Are you ready to go to court?
Anyways.
All right, so they're in this amusement park, right? And then finally, like, Carlo catches up to her. He's like, all right, well, she's still not noticing me, so I'm going to walk real close to her now. And she's getting all nervous. And all right, now she seems worried, but she wasn't for the rest of the day. So I didn't understand what was going on. He catches up to her, and she basically runs into him. She didn't see him because she's just like, huh, and turns right into his chest. And he's like, oh, hey, I'm going to kill you now. Mm-hmm. Then she gets away. There's this long foot chase. She ends up in a bumper car graveyard.
Yep.
It's like just this piles of old shitty bumper cars. The ones full of semen or the ones that are ripped up or don't work anymore. And she like gets into one and he's going to kill her. And then these mob guys like Vito and the boys show up, right?
Yeah. Here come the boys.
And Katie says thanks. And Vito's like, oh, yeah, Frank called us. And she goes, the police? Frank called the police? And then they all laugh about it. And they're like, yeah, the police. And then they drive off. That's a wrap on Carlo. Go to the parlor. Frank comes into the place asking where Katie is, right?
Yeah.
And he's apologizing while she's in the... So he walks in. She's giving pretty much the world's worst massage because she never learned how to give a massage.
Yep.
So her version of a massage is to just put her hands flat and go...
Yeah.
along her back. And then this is insane how this movie ends.
Oh my God. We go into the room and there's a man being massaged. And our boy comes in there and he just rattling off at everything that's happened. And all three of the girls are in there for some reason.
Yeah, he's having a party.
Yeah, it's a rubathon, if you will.
Well, there's a lot of man to rub. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but each one of them, like, each one's got an ankle.
Yeah, there's like I'm like, wow, this is like the top tier service.
Top tier rub down.
Yeah.
He bought the premium package.
Yeah, so if like he flipped over, like what would they do?
Well, Mo would go.
Mo would go first.
And so the guy who flips over is Vito.
Right, yeah.
And he just looks up and he smiles and he goes, Frank, that's right. Katie's in charge now.
Yeah.
And I got a great idea for a business. I want you to take all the whorehouses and turn them into massage parlors. And then he just starts laughing hysterically. He's like, and then there's just like separate shots of everybody getting a zoom in while everybody in this room is just dying from laughter.
Yeah.
And like hugging.
They're just laughing their asses off in the fucking craziest zoom, and then it just ends on a freeze frame. Credits.
Like, were there bath salts in this massage parlor?
Did you see Vito was face down, but he had his sunglasses on?
Yeah.
This ends like the end of like a Tim and Eric sketch.
Or like Three's Company.
Like everybody's just laughing and there's zooms and it's just like
But it was a great way to end this movie on a wholesome note of whatever. You know, the mob goes legit.
Yeah.
It was just
hey,
everybody's happy.
We got him.
Yeah.
Women are free, but you know all the women that choose to be prostitutes are now out of work.
You know, I've got a great new gimmick for our organization. I want you to take all the whorehouses and make them into massage parlors.
So guys, recommendations?
Yeah, I'll give it a soft recommend because you're not getting what is promoted on the poster. It's not, women taking on the mob with, guns and, sexy massage parlors. It's something completely different from that, which is another aspect of the marketing taking over and saying, let's give something that the guys will want to see.
Yeah, I think that despite like all of its shortcomings, for some reason this is like a movie that's completely watchable.
Yeah,
I was gonna say watch it at a party because it's not like overly exploitative where it's like looks like a porno, and it has an interesting story if you just pop in and out, but not if you sit there and analyze it.
Yeah,
so it's fun to watch with people. I think
it's like it's a light, fun Sunday movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're hungover or if you're it's been a long day, just pop it on. You'll get a few smiles.
Smiles.
There won't be any rub outs.
No.
But no, it wasn't bad. I hope this made for a good episode because after I watched it for a second time in a week, I'm like, oh boy. But I think we had plenty to say.
Oh, yeah.
You guys hear that sound, though?
Oh, boy.
I think we know where this is going.
Oh, God, yeah.
I think there's only one way, and that's Chris's way.
Chris, what do you think?
Oh, really? Oh, fuck. I think... Oh, God. Well, obviously, Bobby and DeVito are going to end up somewhere in this...
Well, they were obviously customers before.
Yeah. So they're going to come after
Oh, they're going to come, all right.
They're going to come in after it's gone legit, but they are really playing it safe. They're both wearing trench coats and Groucho Marx glasses. Like hats. Yeah, trying not to get caught. And so they both insist on going hip to hip.
Oh, boy.
For some reason. And so when the flip comes...
They're like, we know you can do two girls.
Yeah.
But can we do two guys, one girl? That's all we got money for.
Yeah. And
you got two hands.
So they don't know that it's, massage parlors. Sometimes the girls like to take a day off. All of them.
Uh-oh.
So who comes in? But Harlow comes in. Slapping his hands together full of grease and oil. And goes, this brings me back.
My days when I started.
Yeah.
I was fresh out of horse school.
Yeah. And he locks the door behind him, rips off the towels, and he goes, just like the Boy Scouts. And goes to town.
Put them up, boys. Put them up. I think that at some point, maybe DeVito went into this place expecting a real massage.
Yeah.
And then he was surprised about it being like, what do you mean party? And then I could just see him going back to the car wash going, Bobby, you wouldn't believe it. There's this place, Bobby, where you can go and a girl will rub you. And then she'll rub you down there.
What do you mean, DeVito?
Bobby, you can pay for sex. And it's all legit. Bobby, I got an idea. That van of yours would be great. And what we should do is hire ourselves abroad. And here, think about this, Bobby. The worst part of that massage parlor is I had to go there. How about one that comes to you? I'm thinking we turn that straight end arrow into the Orient Express. I saw one driving down Van Nuys Boulevard.
That's true. I remember that.
Oh, I would call it Come and Go.
Come and go. Oh, I love that name, Bobby. So what we do is we hire ourselves abroad. We get her in there. We go around. We say, hey, 40 for the door, 40 for the whore. Am I right? I'll have a bullhorn. And then they go for their first day of business, but the whore didn't show up. And they go, Bobby, you have much more delicate hands than me. Also, your hair is poofy, kind of like a woman. So if you were to just maybe stick the poof out, people would think it's a girl.
That's like a grandma.
We'll get him in here. We'll get the money. We'll chloroform him. You jack him off. He won't even know.
I like that he still has to do the deed, even though he's unconscious.
Yeah. Come on. They got to get their money's worth, Bobby.
They got to wake up with the semen stain on their thigh.
Yeah, they'll know. They'll think they had a good time.
Yeah.
Bobby just has like, he puts like a little in a private resort, puts a little thing over his mouth.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, hello.
Oh, God. He does a little walk.
Just like at home, I do this all the time.
It's like under the covers, like just jackhammering as hard as he can.
Jackhammer. Oh, well, thanks again for joining us. Oh, Hughes, did you have any that you wanted to add?
No.
Well, thanks again for joining us on another episode of Grindbin. We'd appreciate it if you rate and review this podcast on iTunes or anywhere else. If you approve it, you can request a movie and we will cover it on this show. Do you guys have anything to plug?
Well, what's your Twitter and your Facebook?
At GrindPod is the Twitter. Facebook is the Grindbin Podcast. Instagram
is also Grindbin Podcast.
Grindbin Podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome. I still am...
grindhousefilm.com. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Grindhousefilm.com is the main one that I go to. I find everything on there.
Hughes loves the website design. So.
Oh, good. I'm learning right now, so the whole point I'm learning web so I can do the site better too. So
I promote the same thing every week. I do Obsidian Extra Life campaign for Obsidian Entertainment, the video game company. You can come watch us play video games at twitch.tv/Obsidian, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 7 p.m. PST.
Great.
Awesome.
You have anything to add, Chris?
Yeah, Leftover Crack playing Punk Rock Bowling on June 11th, Asbury Parks. We'll be playing...
you're going to Asbury Park.
Yeah, NoFX will be headlining
cool.
our set, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that place is now no longer a shithole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it used to be, trust me.
Yeah, Kevin Smith really cleaned it up.
Bobby, rub it out.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the team.
But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
Spooky ain't got no field coach.
Hello, pizza man.
We're gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles. You could have a decent